Ксенечка, я люблю тебя.
Hear my plea to the fallen, leave me to be with the broken one last time before I go. Hold the last burning ember, let us never surrender. May we rise up to the glory and the fall. For the weak and the broken, for the lost and forsaken, let us never surrender. May we rise up to the call. For the weak and the broken, for the lost and forsaken, let us never surrender. For the glory of the For the beat and the broken, for the lost and forsaken, let us never surrender. Now we rise unto the call.
All right, Arc Hunters, check into the stream. How you doing? Good evening, everybody. August 15th, 2022. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. How are we doing? Glory to Ukraine. In the chat, we have some good news coming out of Ukraine for the Ukrainian military. A couple of, just in general, the Russian military not doing well. Not doing well. Took another massive L. And it was by the Russians' own doing, or the Russian unit's own doing. Comment how you guys are doing. What city, what state, where in the world y'all are watching from. I'm Andrew Mercado from Mercado Media, and we are live right now. A couple news stories we're going to get to. Well, we will get to the headquarters that was destroyed, the Wagner private military contractors that they told on themselves and gave away their location because they posted a telegram showing that they were outside of their headquarters, and their headquarters building had the street address on it, and Ukraine said, "Oh, okay, now we know where that is now. Here comes a HIMARS rocket. Here you go." And they sent a HIMARS special HIMARS operation to the Wagner mercenaries who posted that picture as an act of goodwill. So thank you to the Wagner group and the Russians for the act of goodwill. Also, Coming out of Ukraine, elements of the Lugansk People's Republic militia reportedly refused to continue fighting in Donetsk Oblast and complained about the grueling pace of offensives outside of Lugansk. Yikes. The emotional significance of Russian targets in Donetsk Oblast resonates with audiences in the Donetsk People's Republic, but not with the LNR audiences tired of grueling offensives beyond their claimed borders. Oof. Several Ukrainian channels shared a video on August 15th of soldiers from the LNR Battalion 2740 refusing to fight for the Donetsk People's Republic. Uh-oh. That's an oopsie. Here it is. There's a video of Lugansk People's Republic troops not wanting to fight in Donetsk. Lugansk, so the LNR does not want to fight in the DNR. And that's not good for Russia because they need them to. Oops. Oh. Now they're brave.
Отказываемся идти воевать на территорию Донецкой Народной Республики. Свой долг по защите Луганской Народной Республики мы выполнили. День Победы был объявлен главой республики 3 июля 2022 года. Нас угрозами, шантажом, запугиванием и обманом пытаются загнать на территорию ДНР.
So again, this says Russian Telegram channels are publishing videos allegedly of the appeals of those mobilized from the LPR. They declare that they already have liberated their republic on July 3rd when they reach the borders of the Lugansk region. Listen, y'all were useful idiots for Vladimir Putin, and what y'all want ain't what he wants anymore. Y'all are your useful idiocy has been now y'all are gonna face punishments from Vladimir Putin if you don't continue doing what he wants, because he played upon the Lugansk Republic's wants, the small amount of group that is in the so-called Lugansk People's Republic in the east. They played you. Now you got to continue fighting or likely die or go to the gulag. Go to the gulag or likely die from desertion, because you can't do that in Russia. They don't want to fight in the DNR or the DPR. Uh-oh, that's not good. Let's continue on. We got some super chats coming in. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Diana. Also, thank you to everybody on Facebook for sending in the stars. Thank you so much. More on that. So DNR units have previously recorded similar appeals when operating in Lugansk. So this isn't the first time, which we've seen. We've seen the DNR, which is the so-called Donetsk People's Republic from Donetsk, posted a similar video in June. They posted a similar appeal that they didn't want to fight beyond beyond the Donetsk Oblast border. Russia ain't trying to hear that. They propagandized their whole reasoning. Y'all are useful idiots, and now your useful idiocy, you will be forced to comply. They're not gonna. This isn't a choice, by the way. It's not like they're like, yeah, we're not gonna fight anymore. Russia will find a way to make them fight. DNR units have previously recorded similar appeals when operating in Lugansk, Kharkiv, and Kherson oblasts, which may indicate that proxy troops might not fully support the Kremlin's expansive invasion plans. Oops. Servicemen of the 3rd Infantry Battalion of the DNR's 105th Infantry Regiment complained when the unit was redeployed from Mariupol to Lugansk in late May. The 113th Regiment of the DNR also published a similar appeal from the front lines in early June. Let's pull that video up. So you got the People's Republics, which is one of the listed reasons for invasion. The people in the east. Oh no. The Karens in the east. Now their usefulness is running up. I'm trying to pull up that's not the nope. Where is the link here? I want to find the Telegram video. It's from June 3rd. Where is... I'm trying to find the video of that because I remember watching it. Let me try to find that. Donetsk People's Republic. We're back in June here. Societal control, no. Russia's whole, like, the entire reason for invasions just could become, it's It's changed over time. It continues to change as they continue to fail. I can't find that video, and this link is a bad link that it sent me to, so I'm gonna move on from that. But it alludes to the June video of the DNR, who posted a similar video saying like, "Hey, we're low on morale, we're low on medical supplies. Like we can't go back to the front lines, and you don't have a choice." So you got the DNR-based war correspondents have been boasting about DNR progress around Avdiivka, but such attitudes may sour again if DNR units are recommitted to another axis. Just sending them around. They want to fight for their oblast, and Russia doesn't care now. Now Russia's in there. They propagandize their entire reasoning for invasion. Y'all were useful idiots. You're gonna get sent all around in the south and the east, and you'll be cannon fodder for Ukraine, for HIMARS. Russia's annual technical forum and army games, which began in Moscow on August 13th, do not represent any immediate military threat to Ukraine. The forum and army games are not military exercises. The forum is the Kremlin's premier annual military-industrial complex exposition and generates reliable arms sale revenue, which the Kremlin uses to supplement income lost due to sanctions. The Army Games are a complementary series of competitive military sporting events that the Kremlin uses to demonstrate Russia's weapon systems in the field and develop relationships with foreign militaries. This year's Army Technical Forum will be held from August 15th to August 21st, and the Army Games will run from the 13th to the 27th. I'm going to include the mobilization efforts and what's going on in some of the occupied cities as part of the map update, which I'm about to do right now. So map update for day 174 of the war in Ukraine. There are 3 major fronts in Ukraine at this time as of August 15th, 2022. I'm going to circle them here. You got the southern axis in Ukraine from Mykolaiv all the way over to Mariupol. You have the Kherson Oblast, and you have the Eastern Front in the Donbass. Okay, each individual front, we will get into it. Let's start with the East. I'm going to zoom in and see what's going on over here. Okay, I'm going to highlight some of the key Russian-controlled cities within Ukraine. We're also going to check distances. We're also going to go over to the, shout out to Dennis Davidov on YouTube, who has they run their own map. And they have distances on there. So we're going to be checking distances as well today because it's been a weekend. A weekend has gone by, and we're going to see if any of the... So are in the east, the Russians are, let's just go 6 to 10 kilometers away in general around most of these cities, all right? So they're about 6 to 10 kilometers away. We'll see if that's changed at all. So you got Izium here. You have Lyman, Seviersk, and Lysychansk, Orlivka. And Donetsk is, I'm just going to circle here to represent Donetsk. Okay, that's the circle right there. It's a little bit further south, but it's just going to represent Donetsk there. Okay, I'm going to highlight some of the Russian advances. I'm actually going to highlight Popasna too. Okay. Red arrows on the map are going to show the Russian attempts at advancing, or their advancing directions, and where they're advancing from. Okay, let's do up here. This is on Avdiivka. Got to go around it. Okay, now I'm going to circle the individual Ukrainian cities and the updates that coincide with them. But I'm also going to put some of these counteroffensive directions to show you where the Ukrainians are liberating or working to liberate some villages and cities in this region, as well as Russia's advance. So you're looking on the screen here. Let me make this a little smaller. I'm blocking a lot of the camera here. There we go. I'll make that a little smaller. Move me there. So the blue arrows on the map are the Ukrainian counteroffensive directions in the east. This is hyper-focused in the Donbass region of Ukraine, okay? And the red arrows and the red circles are the main cities. They have headquarters within these cities. They operate out of them, and the Russians advance from them, okay? So we're going to start with Sloviansk. This is the first city we're going to talk about in any directions of advance or any territorial changes within the map on August 15th. Russian forces attempted limited ground attacks northwest of Sloviansk on the 15th. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces withdrew following unsuccessful assaults in the Manzanivka direction, which is 24 kilometers northwest of Sloviansk, and the Dolnya direction, which is 20 kilometers northwest of Sloviansk. Russian forces also failed their attempts to dislodge Ukrainian forces with concentrated artillery fire in Krasnopilia and Manzanivka, which is about 24 kilometers northwest of Sloviansk. Hiroshivka, which is 30 kilometers west of Izium, and Avdiivka, which is 45 kilometers northwest of Izium. Russian artillery fire continued routine shelling and strikes on Sloviansk, northwest of Izium, and along the Kharkiv-Donetsk Oblast border, including Zalaman, Borodarichny, Avdiivka, and Vernopilia. So limited ground attacks to the northwest, unsuccessful assaults on Manzanivka, failed attempts to dislodge Ukrainian forces with concentrated artillery fire, and continued of routine shelling on certain villages on the Kharkiv-Donetsk Oblast border. But no territorial changes, just artillery rocket fire on civilian populated villages and territory in the Kharkiv-Donetsk Oblast. Okay, so that's going to be up in the Izium direction. Some of these regions that Ukraine's counteroffensives are moving on. Okay, this is Russia's trying to slow down Ukrainians' counteroffensive. Although it's very slow, Ukrainians' counteroffensives here are very slow and incremental. They have they have to have a couple more additional HIMARS here due to these Ukrainian counteroffensive successes, and also the strike on the Wagner military base, which we'll get to, which was over here. I'm going to keep this part of the map up for when we get to that part. Likely to try to soften the Ukrainians' counteroffensive advances in the Izium direction, as well as in the south. Got to try to slow them down somewhere. The Ukrainians are liberating territory in two spots on the map right now, and it's southwest of Izium and to the west of Izium, and in the southern axis, which we'll get to. So on Sloviansk here, no changes. All failed attempts by the Russian military, just shelling of villages in the region to try to soften the Ukrainian counteroffensive advance. Next, we're going to be talking about the city of Seviersk, which is to the east of Sloviansk. Here it is. Right, city of Seviersk. Actually, before we do that, let's check the deep state map here and see how far away, if any. I mean, they haven't moved across the river, but if you're a new viewer, let's give you the distance we got here. I'm going to keep the same color coordination. So the blue circle is around Ukrainian-controlled cities. I go based off of the dead center of the city, how far away they are. The closest point, you're going to see about 11 kilometers away, 11.2 to the center of Sloviansk. They haven't moved. They're still stuck on that. They're still stuck to the east of this river bank here. They haven't crossed it. They're stuck on the other side of the river along this entire border. There's a river here, and this terrain is gross in terms of trying to advance a military through it, because it's like marsh, swamp. Oh, and then once you get through the marsh and the swamp and the river, then you got to deal with large open areas, which is a death sentence, because large open areas, hey, you're on camera. You're on the drone now. Now we can see you. So that's why they haven't moved from this border here. This front line from the Russians hasn't changed at all because of the terrain. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Look at the terrain here. Marsh, just swamp, riverbeds, like terrain you cannot get like a advancing force through. You can get like some special forces teams through that easily, or some small teams, some small group tactics can get you done, but not what Russia's trying to do. Now, not trying to take cities with that. You're not able to cross that river at all, and they haven't moved on that at all summer. They haven't advanced. They took Lehman in, I want to say, April. Maybe towards the end of April. I have to look that up. in between streams, but or for tomorrow. I'll write it down in my notes. But they haven't advanced any further in this direction since the very first couple months of the war. They've been bogged down, the Russian advance behind these terrain features. Can't get a big advancing force through that. That's tough terrain right there. So we got about 11.2 kilometers. 11.2 kilometers to the closest point that the Russian front is on Sloviansk. And let's go to the north, that other northern point that they're sticking out at. You got about 10 kilometers. So they're right about 10 to 13 kilometers, even give like 9 to 13 kilometers away from Sloviansk. They haven't changed. It hasn't changed. They have failed, nothing but failed attempts on Sloviansk. And actually the Ukrainian liberation here, the Ukrainian counteroffensives up in the north of Sloviansk to the northwest have actually pushed the Russian front line backward as they're working to liberate the whole of Dubrovnik, which is here. This is the city of Dubrovnik in Krasnopilia, Dolnia. I'm sure y'all have heard me say it. Krasnopilia, Dubrovnik, Dolnia, Borodarichny is right here. We've looked at Seviersk extensively when the Russians were advancing down in June from Izium and seen some of what this territory looks like. And we in the chat and we were looking at it. We were looking at, where is it on the map now? There's Lehman. Here it is, Seviersk. We were looking at what these towns look like, and it's just tough because you got forest and then it's open area. Or do they shut it down? There we go. Look at that. It's like you got some forest regions, you got some heavily wooded areas here as you get into the cities, but then once you exit Seviersk and go even further south, you're in wide open lands. It is wide open. Oh my goodness. I don't know why it resets back to Kyiv every time. We're back over here. Find it. There it is. So we're looking right here, if you're wondering what I'm looking at. Seviersk, Borodarichny. Here, Izium. Here's Izium. Lehman's right here, and this is the region in which Ukraine is fighting over some of these smaller villages and terrain. But it's very difficult. It's very hard terrain because even the terrain that the Russians have captured, even the terrain that the Russians are holding, that's hard to get back too. So it's hard for the Russians to advance and take more territory, but it's also hard for the Ukrainians to advance with their counteroffensives because the terrain is just very tough. All around Sloviansk, you have rivers and waterbeds and just marshy terrain mixed with open areas. Like to get to the next city, like to get from Seviersk, if they wanted to advance, if the Russians did want to go past Seviersk, to get to Svorony here, Sirdrov, there it is. Sirdrov. That's a big open, this is all open season right here. All flat, open, wide open terrain right here that the Russians would have to cross through to get to another city. And you got the Ukrainians right here in Borodarichny. That's right up here. Let me pull the map up again. So where we're looking at on the Google Maps is right here. Zoomed in. This is Ukrainian counteroffensives. The Ukrainians are moving towards Izium. They've taken the Ukrainians have liberated some of Borodarichny and some of these cities. They're working on it. Dovenki is the next city that they're working on, that they're trying to liberate. But the terrain is very difficult both ways. It's difficult for the Russians to advance any further beyond the riverbed, and it's tough for Ukraine to advance back and liberate some of these cities because the terrain is difficult. All right, so about 10 kilometers away, 9 to 13 if you want to give a range from Sloviansk. So nothing's changed there. Russians haven't moved their front lines. Ukrainians haven't taken back any territory to adjust the line either way. So now we're going to go on to Seviersk. All right, we'll get that distance after I do the rundown. So here's the town of Seviersk to the east of Sloviansk. Russian forces conducted multiple offensive operations east and southeast of Seviersk on August 15th. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian attempts to advance towards settlements east and southeast of Seviersk were all unsuccessful. Chechen Republic head Ramzan Kadyrov claimed that the Chechen Akhmat Special Forces, Spetsnaz, gained unspecified strategically important ground around Seviersk, confirming that Chechen units are still operating in the Seviersk-Lysychansk axis. That hasn't changed either. The Chechens are north of Seviersk, likely to the east as well now, because that's where the attempts are being made. But you have the Ramzan Kadyrov TikTok unit up here, where I'm moving the circle around. They're up in this region, coming out. Actually, I'll just circle Kreminna, because that's likely where their HQ is, or Rubinzin. And they're coming from here. They're coming down on Seviersk. All failed, though. All failed attempts. Russian aviation operated near Spirny and Prishib. Russian media additionally shared footage of Russians using loitering munitions to strike Ukrainian positions near Seviersk, which we'll get to in our combat footage timeline. Russian forces continued routine shelling of Seviersk, so all unsuccessful advances onto the town of Seviersk from the Russian military and the TikTok army from the Kadyriovites. Let's see if there's been any changes in ground here. Seviersk is still in Ukrainian control. We're going to go right in the middle of Seviersk to the north, the northernmost point that's closest to Seviersk. You're going to have 6.63 kilometers, close to 7 kilometers away from the center of Seviersk to this northeastern point here. The closest to the northeastern point, 6.63. I'm just going to go closest distances here. The next point you got is this point sticking out directly to the northeast. That's 7.21 kilometers away. This point here from the center of Seviersk. So both are very close to each other. Both right around 7 kilometers away from Sloviansk and south of Avdiivka with this little advance that the Russian military is doing in the east. And then also let's go to this western point, this northwestern point of Seviersk. Right in the middle. Oops. There you go. Okay, so the closest points around Seviersk, they're 7 kilometers away. They're the front lines. And this front line up here to the north has not changed. They're on the other side of the river. So this front line isn't advancing whatsoever. All of the advancements are coming from the east, specifically here. From Bilohorivka, from Lysychansk. And that's where the advancing directions are coming from. They're not coming from the Kadyriovites are up there, but they're not making any advances from the north due to the terrain. So about 7 kilometers away is the closest front lines to Seviersk for the Russian positions. Zoom out. We're going to be talking about Bakhmut next. Get that ready. This is the city that there's been the most activity from the Russian side in terms of territory being gained for the Russian military. Let's get the update. I'll circle it so you know where we're looking at, and then I'll move over to our war map. So here's Bakhmut. We're going to talk about it, and then let's go back here. Delete those. That's the TikTok army. And then here is the city of Bakhmut. Russian forces continued ground attacks northeast and southeast of Bakhmut on August 15th and made limited territorial gains. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces withdrew their original positions after conducting unsuccessful offensives around the directions of Soledar, 10 kilometers northeast of Bakhmut, Kodyma, 20 kilometers southeast of Bakhmut, and Vershnya, 15 kilometers southeast of Bakhmut. Geolocated footage showed that unspecified Russian Cossack units advanced to the Donbass gypsum factory southeast of Soledar, and the Lugansk People's Republic ambassador to Russia, Riordan Mishranik, claimed that Russian forces are, quote, clearing out Soledar. Proxy officials have claimed control over the Nov factory since August 5th. It is likely that they are exaggerating the extent of Russian advances in Soledar. The Ukrainian General Staff also stated that Russian forces intensified reconnaissance in the Bakhmut direction and conducted airstrikes near Soledar and Yakovlivka. Russian forces also continued shellings in the Bakhmut direction, including the city itself. So the only reports of advance are on Soledar. Let's pull that up on the map. Soledar is to the, I believe, to the northeast. Sometimes I lose the city in my brain. I'm gonna have to look it up. Darn it. All right, let's see where Soledar is at. How's everybody doing in the chat this evening? Drop a comment. How are we doing? Looking up the Russian advance in the Bakhmut direction as my Google Maps fails today again. That Google Maps like lags out after a while. I don't get it. Soledar. Okay, yeah, just to the northeast along the T1302 highway. Just northeast of it. There's Bakhmut, Soledar. So you got the Ukrainian controlled city of Bakhmut here. Oops. Center screen. Go. Here's the Ukrainian controlled city of Bakhmut right here. And then you have the Russian advance, or the claimed Russian advance, through the town of Soledar. Or that's what the claims are. Yellow. There's this town of Soledar, just to the northeast of Bakhmut. And here, I mean, on the deep state map, it's not even reflected. There's the town of Soledar here. Don't even have the red. They have it outside of Bakhmutsky still. Let's look at the other map. This one reflects a little bit further of an advance through the T1302 highway through Soledar, but it's just yellow right now under claimed Russian control. So need more sourcing. Need more sourcing about any type of advance through the town of Soledar because it's not confirmed. So need more on that. Fix that, put that back. Need more on that, more information on Soledar. Right now, that's about it. Russian forces continue shelling settlements in the Bakhmut direction, including the city itself. See if we can look up the NAF factory. That was on May 17th. I wonder if I can find it on the Google Maps specifically. It's in Soledar, so we can GPS it if we need to, or look at it from the satellite. Hey, there we go. Nolf Gip. So that's not even, that's right on the other side of the T1302. So this is the factory that the Russians have claimed control of, but again, that's not through Bakhmut, or that's not through Soledar at all. That's just on the other side of this highway right here, which I can't even look at. There it is from the sky. So the Russians have claimed control over Nov Gips, which that is the start of the town of Soledar, just on the other side of this highway. So that factory is right here. It's reflected perfectly on Deep State's map. That's about it. They have the control of the factory. This is the factory on the Deep State map that we're looking at. That's right here. But definitely not the entire town. And that tells me they're having very unsuccessful advances here because they haven't advanced beyond this. They haven't gotten to the other side of the T1302 all summer. They've been fighting over it. There was a big concern when the Ukrainians still held Lysychansk and Sevierodonetsk in some of these cities. along the T-1302. But when the Russians blitzkrieged Sevierodonetsk and Lysychansk, all of the villages closest to the T-1302, because that was the main supply line and ground line of communication from Bakhmut to Lysychansk and Sevierodonetsk. So the Russians, that was a key ground line of communication, that T-1302, to try to cut the Ukrainians off to assist their moves in the east. So nothing after that happened, nothing's changed. They've advanced on the other side of the T-1302, which this goes back and forth on a weekly basis in here. They have the factory, the Nov Gips factory here in Donbass, in the Bakhmut direction. That's it. That's it on Bakhmut for the day. Let's see where that is in distances. So let's circle Bakhmut here. The center of the city. And Nov Gips, which is right here. That is just under 12 kilometers away, roughly. Just under 12 kilometers away from that Nov Gips factory from center of Bakhmut. Not incredibly far. Well, we'll keep that updated and see if they advance, if the Russians are able to advance through Soledar. Haven't done it all summer. Hasn't changed. 1169 to the northeast to that factory. To the east of Bakhmut, this point right here. The closest point on the MO3 highway. That's just a little under 6 kilometers. So that hasn't changed. This is the city in which Avdiivka and Bakhmut, the Russians are about 6 kilometers away to the east, the front line from the center of the city. And then to the southeastern point, 9.96 kilometers, so just under 10 kilometers away to the southeastern advance through Vershnia. Trying to attempt the same encirclement of Bakhmut, because advancing straight onto the city fails every time, just like they are in the town of Avdiivka, which we'll get to next. Failed advances on Bakhmut. Town of Avdiivka next. Just southeast of Bakhmut, there it is. Avdiivka in the Donetsk Oblast. Russian forces launched ground assaults in an effort to break Ukrainian defenses southwest of Donetsk city on August 15th. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces unsuccessfully launched assaults in the directions of Novo-Kamalivka, Volodymyrivka, Pavlivka, and Vodany, all situated southwest of Donetsk city and near the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border. DNR Deputy Information Minister Daniil Bezdynsov claimed that Russian forces have broken Ukrainian defenses around Vuhledar, which is about 50 kilometers southwest of Donetsk city, but did not provide concrete details of the advance. Russian forces likely intensified their attacks in the area in an effort to gain control over the T-0524 highway to Donetsk city. The DNR claimed that the DNR 107th Battalion is advancing on Marinka, which is approximately 22 kilometers west of Donetsk city. Russian forces continue to target Ukrainian-held territories west of Donetsk city using airstrikes, tank tube, and rocket artillery. So, one claim from the DNR, the Donetsk People's Republic. Let's zoom in down there. We're going to zoom in on Avdiivka down here. I'm going to redo some of the circles. Here's Avdiivka. Russian-controlled city of Donetsk. Also, I'm going to draw some of the advances. Here's Marinka that they're talking about. This is Pisky. Some of the other advancing directions that the Russians are attempting to do to try to extend the Donetsk border, because all of their advances here straight onto Avdiivka have failed. All that's a no-go. That's a no-go. So they have to go. They're going to try to go around it like they are in Bakhmut. Try to go to the south and to the northeast and try to encircle it. I'm trying to do the exact same thing here. Nothing. They have had successes in Pisky, south of Avdiivka, pushing through into some of that terrain and into some of that village. Zoom in here. Here's the town of Pisky. Russians having success there, and then you have the DNR 107th pushing through the town of Marinka, which is even further southeast of the town of Pisky. This is where the Russian advancing directions have been successful as of late. Bakhmut, a couple areas in the Bakhmut direction, and then in a couple villages in Avdiivka. Every attempt to advance on Avdiivka head-on has failed miserably. The Ukrainians have been locked in defense here for 8 years, nearly 10 years, and the Russians and the Donetsk fighters, the Donetsk People's Republic fighters, have been situated here for nearly 10 years as well. So this is where a lot of the war has taken place for a long time. Their front lines are solid. Their trench systems are even more intricate here than in other regions of Ukraine. It's just even more of a artillery volley battle here than it is more so than ground fighting. It's just a big, long artillery battle in this region. All advances of the Russian military on Avdiivka have failed. The Russians are advancing through the town of Pisky and through the town of Marinka, or they're attempting to in Marinka. No confirmed advances there. There's attempts. The only confirmed advances are in the town of Pisky. So attempts down here, successes from the Russians in the town of Pisky. Let's move on. Beyond that, nothing in the town directly. Nothing in Avdiivka has changed. Nothing in the day has moved. So let's look at how much of a distance that is from the center of Avdiivka. I'm going to zoom out some. Ukrainian-controlled city of Avdiivka. Boom. Pisky. Pisky is a little under 9 kilometers away from the center of Avdiivka. Got some of the Russian advances here. This is the Russian advancing directions. Make it so you guys can see it a little easier. And then, of course, this is Donetsk. That is Donetsk. The 1st Army Corps is there. So, the distance measurement... Oh, did I read that wrong? Let me do that again. I might have read that wrong. Let me do this again. So, Avdiivka to Pisky. Yeah, 8.91 kilometers. I must have clicked it again. I apologize. 8.91, just a little under 10 kilometers from the town of Pisky on Avdiivka. Let's look at this northeastern direction. Got the Russians advancing up here too. Again, trying to encircle it. All of their attempts right onto it. All the attempts of the Russian military advancing through Avdiivka have failed. Got to go around it to the south and to the north. Center of Avdiivka. Let's go right here. 7.84 kilometers. Let's go to that northern tip actually. Northern tip, 9.54 kilometers away, the Russian advancing direction on Avdiivka to the north. So you got between 6 to 10 kilometers to the south, to the east, and to the north. Let's look at due east, like right on the front line here. Little under 5 kilometers to the directly east. So about 5 to 10 kilometers to the south, to the north, and to the east. Between 5 to 10. The Russians aren't to the west. They're not directly to the north. They're not to the northwest. They are starting to push out that Donetsk Oblast front line through Marinka, because to try to push that out again, to try to encircle it. The Russians want to push this front line, extend it a little bit. I'm not sure how far, as far as they can try to. So that way they can advance on Avdiivka. So just assume that this is going to be Russian territory for a minute. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen. They're failing. So this is what they want to do. And then they can advance on Avdiivka from here. So that way they're not going at it directly. They're trying to encircle it like they did in Lysychansk and Sverdlovsk, like they're trying to do in Bakhmut and they're trying to do in Avdiivka. That's their goal. Trying to push this out. They've only had success here in Pisky and in the town of Marinka, which is that is 27 kilometers away. The village of Marinka, which is even further southeast from Pisky. And from Pisky and Marinka, you got about 20 kilometers between those two villages of space that the Russians are trying to push outward. So we'll track that. We got to keep up on Pisky and Marinka, and the Russians advancing incremental advances. Most of it's unsuccessful in the majority of the Donbass, but they have incremental gains in specific, very, very specific villages within the east. It's not a widespread, massive advance of the Russian military anymore. In some regions in the east, the Ukrainians are liberating territory. It's very much on a week to week. The Russians will take like a couple city blocks in a village, or they'll push and they'll gain some, and then the Ukrainians will push them back. It's very, very tiny land. If there's any advances or any territorial gains, it's very, very incremental and small. And also up for informational challenges too, because a lot of it is on Telegram posted, and then you'll see pictures or video, and then that can contradict the statements being made, and they're not as far as this Telegram post is saying. You know, they're like, for example, in Bakhmut on that Naf Gips factory, in which the Russians are claiming that they're taking the town of Soledar. How is that possible when they're only at Naf Gips, and that's just at the start of the town, just right on the other side of the highway? They haven't advanced through the city at all. That's Soledar. So until there's more information, or there's further, like usually sometimes it's in gloating, or if it's like on Telegram, or just open source intelligence information, which you can geolocate it, and like kind of like how Ukraine did, which we'll talk about with the Wagner mercenaries, and they posted a picture showing the address of where their headquarters is, and Ukraine launched a HIMARS at it. So all informational. We'll keep up on that on the town of Pisky and Marinka in the east. That's going to be it for the eastern front in the Donbass. Now we're going to go up to this northeast in Kharkiv and the international border with the Russian city of Belgorod. There's the Russian city of Belgorod that is in Russia. A lot of these other cities are Ukrainian cities that the Russians are occupying. Let's get the update. So those are the two cities. You got Kharkiv in the blue, Belgorod in the red. Russian forces conducted limited offensive operations along the Kharkiv city axis on the 15th. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces from Kozacha Lopan again unsuccessfully attempted to break Ukrainian lines of defense near Udy. Russian sources have claimed control of Udy since the 13th, but have yet to produce evidence of any reported gains. Russian forces also targeted settlements approximately 40 kilometers northeast and southeast from Kharkiv city with airstrikes. Russian forces continue to target Kharkiv city and surrounding settlements with unspecified missiles and tube, tank, and rocket artillery. So yet to produce any evidence of reported gains in the town of Udy. Nothing much has changed up here. My maps froze again. I don't know why it does this. Let's look up where the town of Udy is. Kharkiv. Ooh, that's the nearest city to Kozcha Lopan. That's the town of Udy. So right now it's in yellow. The Russians haven't provided any evidence that they've taken that. What does this map look like? Oh yeah. Dennis doesn't even have the Russians through Udy on his map. So they're going based off of Russian claims. That's why it's yellow. But there isn't any reports. So, realistically, all this is still in Ukraine. They're still in Ukrainian control. Or they got even more land. There's no evidence of the Russians even controlling this in the town of Udy near the border. That's an update. I'm gonna draw blue there. There's no evidence of the Russians in the town of Udy. All that is Ukrainian territory. Be interesting to see if any of that changes around the map of some of these claimed territories that isn't even in Russia's control. So reflected on Dennis's map and the deep state map, the town of Udy still clearly in Ukrainian control. Interactive map we got, I just adjusted it. Okay, that's blue. That's it though. Nothing else in the Kharkiv Oblast. Ukrainian defense is holding. Russians continue to shell civilian populated areas in Kharkiv. No evidence of Russian control of the town of Udy. They attempted to break Ukrainian lines of defense near there, but haven't provided anything saying that they've advanced through it and taken it. That's it in Kharkiv Oblast, all right? That's going to be it. I'll have to adjust that every time nearly. Now let's go to the southern axis. Lots of updates here in the southern axis. I'm going to start by highlighting the key Ukrainian-controlled cities down here. We got Mykolaiv, Kryvyi Rih, Zaporizhia. That's what I'm going to highlight for now. Show the Ukrainian counteroffensive directions. This is Zaporizhia front line. So these are the main Ukrainian-controlled cities still in the southern axis, as well as their advancing directions. Here's some of the Russian-controlled cities in Kherson, Novokhovka, Melitopol, and Mariupol. We'll leave it there. Russian and Ukrainian forces again exchanged accusations of shelling the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in Yurnodohar, Zaporizhia Oblast on August 15th. Russian sources claim that Ukrainian forces fired Western provided M777 rounds at Yurnodohar, but provided no evidence of these claims. Russian sources also rejected on August 14th international call for Russian forces to leave the territory of the Zaporizhia NPP and doubled down on accusing Ukrainian forces of shelling the NPP. Russia shelling it. Russia put their military there to taunt Ukraine and the West. Like, yeah, go ahead, shell the plant if you want. And Russia's provoking Ukraine and the West with dummy strikes on the plant that aren't going to actually affect it, but they're going to use it to provocate and propagandize the fact that it's being shelled, but it's all Russia. Russian forces shelled Nikopol and Marionets across the Dnipro River from Yurnodohar with multiple launch rocket systems. Russian forces did not conduct any reported ground assaults on the southern axis on August 15th, but continued shelling across the entire southern front line. Ukraine's Southern Operational Command reported that Russian forces on the southern axis have not changed their troop composition or position on August 15th. Kherson Oblast Military Administration head Serhiy Klan stated on August 15th that Ukrainian strikes on the bridges leading to Upper Kherson Oblast have rendered the bridges inoperable to heavy equipment. Dang. So all the strikes on the significant bridges in the Antianivsky Bridge to the east of Kherson and the Novokhovka Dam that Ukraine's shelling, the Russians can't get heavy military equipment across those now. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces conducted airstrikes on Avdiivka, Bilohorivka, and Lazov near the Ukrainian bridgehead over the Inhluets River in northwestern Kherson Oblast and near Mirny and Bladoitny, northwest of Kherson City. Russian forces also conducted airstrikes on Shcherbaki on the T-0812 highway and Severny on south of Tarivsky, which is in the Zaporizhia Oblast. Ukraine's Southern Operational Command also reported that Russian forces launched missiles from the S-300 air defense systems on educational and civilian infrastructure on Mykolaiv City. Russian forces continued shelling along the entire line of contact. So no ground assaults, just shelling and airstrikes of civilian populated areas to include educational, I said civilian infrastructure, but to include educational buildings as well in the Mykolaiv Oblast, the Mykolaiv city specifically. The Ukrainians are shelling the Russians are responding to the Ukrainian counteroffenses and the liberation of villages, specifically Mirny, Bladatny, Davdiv Brid along the Inhlovets River, Andriivka, Bielorivka. These are all cities that Ukraine has started to liberate along the eastern bank and the western bank of the Inhlovets River. Here's the Inhlovets River. I'm just circling all of it. Goes all the way up into Kryvyi Rih. Okay, this is the Inhlovets. And the Ukrainians are liberating villages on each side of the riverbank. So when you hear those cities and you hear those village names, Russia is shelling them to try to slow down Ukraine's counteroffensive advances and liberation of those villages. Ukraine's Southern Operational Command reported that Ukrainian forces struck Russian ammunition depots in Avdiivka near the bridgehead at Lizov, Novopetrivka in northern Kherson Oblast. Ukrainian sources reported that Ukrainian partisans blew up a rail bridge in the southwestern outskirts of Mariupol on August 13th that Russian forces frequently use to transport military equipment between the south and the east. Oof. See if I got that. Number 42. This might be a Telegram link, though. Sometimes the Telegram links are tough. Active arithmetic from the Melitopol Underground. -1 railway bridge in the southwestern direction of Melitopol equals the complete absence of Russian echelons from the Crimean side. The forces of the resistance helped the bridge to, quote, get tired, so that much of the Russiites were unable to restore it for the second day. Moreover, since yesterday in Melitopol and nearby settlements, mass filtering activities have been carried out, but not a single partisan was ever found. Kudos to the Melitopol partisans for their daily heroic successes behind enemy lines. Took out a railway bridge. So Melitopol, let's see if I can find that railway bridge on the map. It's not going to be in Udi. Rail bridge. Where the hell would that be? Has it just to the west of the E105. This isn't making sense to me now. Oh, hello. It's Monday, y'all. It's Monday. We're looking at Mykolaiv. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Melitopol. I get Mykolaiv and Melitopol still to this day, like ever since the start. I'm like, what the hell? We're not looking at the right spot. So here we go. Here it is. So here's the E105. Here's where we're looking at the town of Melitopol, which I'll pull that up now. So that's in this large circle on our big map. I was not looking at the right city. So Melitopol, railway bridge. Can I pull up a GPS? There we go. Satellite imagery. This is where we're looking at. Now let me see what we got here. Railway bridge is in here. Or am I missing it? Between the two villages, okay? It's like here. No, nothing I can do. There's a Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the railway right here. You can see it. Okay, right here. Bam. There's the bridge. Found it. There it is. So here's the railway. You can see the train station. They got the train marker on here on the map. There's the train station logo. That's a train station. Here's the train. Okay, there it goes. This is the bridge that was destroyed right here. This is a bridge. Looks like it goes right over a pipeline. That looks like a pipeline to me. What's underneath that? That's sus. Whatever. It was shelled. Nowhere to go to look at it on the ground. I don't see any ground views. Nope. I'm sorry, chat. Can't get on the ground and see any ground views of it. But that is the railway bridge that was hit. In Mykolaiv. That is definitely in Russian territory. Going to stop some of the supplies, the resupply lines. That is a crucial... That railway is crucial. I'm just following it. Now that I know exactly where it goes all the way. This is the rail line. Oof, does it go all the way into the Crimean Peninsula? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that railway goes all the way down. This is still the railway. Does it cross into Crimea? So I'm still following it. Yep, that's a major railway. Goes right down into the Crimean Peninsula. Connects to Melitopol. So that bridge stopping that supply into the town of Melitopol is huge. I mean, those little things get overlooked, but those little things are a big deal. That bridge and that space to prevent the train from advancing into the town is huge. Into Melitopol. It connects all the way into the Crimean Peninsula if you follow it. If it took me a while to find it, I apologize. Wasn't looking at the right city, but I found it. So that's in relation to the rail bridge. So you got bridges in the east of Kherson. So you have the Ukrainian HIMARS strikes. I'm going to delete that. I wish I had a HIMARS sticker. I would just put a big HIMARS on the screen. You have Novakahov. I'm just going to use, we'll use yellow. No. What's a color that'll stand out here? Pink? That'll be hard to see. We'll use green. I'll still use green. So you have Ukrainian HIMARS strikes on the dam in Novakhovka here. The Antonivsky Bridge. As well as a significant rail bridge in Melitopol to get supplies into the city from Crimea, because that railhead goes south all the way into the Crimean Peninsula, as we just found out. Striking some Ukrainian counteroffensive strikes with these HIMARS systems. Drop HIMARS in the chat. Are starting to hit some, or they have been, but they're hitting more critical infrastructure to weaken the ability for the Russians to resupply and get fresh troops, equipment to the front lines. I mean, we're seeing it all the time through the combat footage, and Russia using railheads to put their T-72s, T-80s, T-90s, all of their tanks, their counterintelligence, counter-air systems. They're all being sent to Ukraine on rail. Russian occupation authorities continued mobilization efforts in Mariupol by offering residents non-military related jobs in occupied Donetsk Oblast territories. The Mariupol City Council reported that Russian occupation authorities are sending Mariupol residents text messages offering jobs in a parliamentary mining rescue service. Parliamentary mining rescue service. Or as drivers before deploying the recruits to Donetsk City, Horlivka, and Makiivka. Advisor to Mariupol Mayor Petro Avdiivka reported an advertisement urging Mariupol men to seek employment with the Donetsk People's Republic police forces without any required prior experience. Avdiivka noted that the DNR is attempting to reinforce its troops rather than recruiting additional police forces. So that has to do with the DNR. So another update with some of the activity in some of the southern occupied cities within Ukraine, some of these cities that Russia has control over. That's it for the south. No changes, just Ukraine shelling that rail bridge to get into Melitopol. Beyond that, nothing's changed. Okay. So some of the activity in the occupied cities. Russian occupation authorities continued setting conditions for long-term Russian control of occupied territories in Ukraine. The UK Ministry of Defense reported on August 15th that Russian occupation officials are likely in the advanced planning stages for a referendum to join Russia, but that it is unclear if they have determined to proceed with the vote. Ukrainian Kherson Oblast Administration Advisor Serhiy Klan reported on August 14th that Russian occupation authorities are planning a seminar for educators in occupied territories and Russian officials, including Russian Minister of Education Sergei Kratstov in Heinetschek on the 26th to the 27th. The aim of the seminar is likely to coordinate education with integration into Russia. Klan also stated that Russian officials plan to launch propaganda TV company Tavria on August 15th. So look out for Tavria. So if you see anybody parroting Tavria articles or news, it's literal propaganda TV company. Not saying, I mean, there's plenty, but this is a new one that's going to start. Emphasizing that Tavria newspapers previously spread in Kakhovka, Kherson Oblast, presenting Ukrainian authorities as fascists. The Russian Ministry of International Affairs reported that Kherson car owners, this is the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs, reported that Kherson car owners received the first batch of Russian model license plates and driver's licenses on August 12th. Russian authorities continued incentivizing Russian citizens to work in occupied territories in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Military Intelligence Directorate reported on the 15th that Russian government is offering Belgorod Oblast administration employees and employees of Russian state institutions double their salaries to work in the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics, the DNR, and the LNR. The GOR also stated that Belgorod Oblast leadership is responsible for supporting occupation efforts in Bielogorod and Troitsky in the Lugansk Oblast, and that Belgorod Oblast teachers will start working in these areas in September. So you're going to start seeing teachers, more and more Russian teachers in some of these occupied cities in oblasts within Ukraine, specifically in the east, and they're going to try in the south. There was a September 11th hard date to annex these cities, and that's not going to go through. They're likely, the Russians have a chance at annexing or doing a sham referendum like they did in the Crimean Peninsula in Lugansk and Donetsk. They could do that by September 11th. Not going to get it done in Kharkiv, not going to get it done in Kherson. Mariupol, they don't even have running water. They don't have basic city functioning. Melitopol, the Ukrainians struck the railhead, so Melitopol isn't in the clear. Melitopol isn't just under Russian occupation, and it's just like that's what it's going to be. Interesting to see how that plays out through the fall and into the winter. As it gets colder, territory changes, the ground changes, the weather changes. There won't be Russians vacationing in Crimea Peninsula like they were. Some key takeaways from everything that I just went through. A reported video of LNR servicemen refusing to fight in Donetsk Oblast suggests further division among Russian-led forces. Russian forces attempted several limited ground assaults southwest of Sloviansk. Russian forces conducted multiple offensive operations east and southeast of Seviersk and northeast of Bakhmut, in northeast and southeast of the town of Bakhmut. Russian forces continued conducting offensive operations northwest, west, and southwest of Donetsk city. Russian forces conducted a limited ground assault north of Kharkiv city. Russian and Ukrainian forces continued to trade accusations of shelling the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. St. Petersburg authorities officially denied summoning local men to military recruitment and enlistment centers for discussions of contract service. And Russian occupation authorities continue preparing for the integration of occupied territories of Ukraine into Russia. And that is your day 174 map breakdown. Leave a like, leave a comment of anything you would like to see changed in the map updates. All right, y'all, that's the map update. Any comments, questions, concerns before we move on to the video update? This is a interactive live stream, but when I'm doing the maps portion of the video, I'm pretty into the maps, so I can't really look at your guys' comments or questions as I'm going. There were some super chats that came through. I do apologize. I missed those. I'm on a roll when I do that. Hi, Andrew from Australia. Thank you, Dieter, for that $14.99 super chat. We got Nadine became a member of the YouTube channel. Thank you, Nadine Oakley, for becoming a member of the Mercado Media YouTube channel. Go ahead, everybody, drop a comment, too, if you don't have any questions, and check in. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you're snacking on. Shout out to our Snack Squad community. Also brand new is the Telegram channel. We have a Mercado Media Telegram channel and an Orc Hunter group chat for the Orc Hunters in the chat that want to continue the conversation, what's going on in Ukraine, or if you want to share news articles. Discord's pretty, in my opinion, it's easy to use now, but at first it's tough because it's like an entirely new thing. Easy. Telegram's very easy to use. Instant guaranteed notifications about anything Mercado Media, so streams, updates, like say I'm sitting here and like it starts spinning and I lose connection and y'all know like what the hell happened to Mercado. Instant blast to the Telegram and y'all get the notification guaranteed. All right, so definitely join that. We got Buffalo, New York tuned in. Cheetos and Ranch snacking on. I wasn't mute for this whole one. You're damn right, Aloysius. We got Queensland, Australia. Turkey is still trading with Russia, yes. How you doing, Rose? Good to see you. I got a mention from Sheriff Bob the other day from Live on Patrol from LOP. Bob's always been good to Mercado Media. They got a big audience on that now. I've seen that thing grow from the beginning when all the cop programs stopped and Bob kept going. Idaho, French Vanilla. Portland, Oregon, good to see you. Florida Man tuned in. Good to have you. All right, so next is going to be our video breakdown / news articles, which the first one is the title of the stream. Also, feel free to ask any questions y'all want to know about the map breakdown or anything about Ukraine. Just ask away and I'll answer the best I can. This is the title of the stream. Ukraine hits Russian Wagner mercenary headquarters in the east. Damn. The extent of damage to the military base of the group, which has been linked to war crimes, is not clear. Lugansk governor claims its secret location was revealed after a Russian journalist shared its address. Damn. Last week, pro-Kremlin correspondent Sergei Streda posted a photo on Telegram of the base with its apparent address. The image, shared on social media site but since deleted, shows 5 people in military uniform with a street sign in Popasna, Lugansk, visible in the top left corner. And pull up the picture is on the thumbnail too of the guy. He's standing right behind it. While the BBC has not been able to confirm the connection between the photo and the strike, the Ukrainian forces hit the enemy HQ, whose whereabouts were established thanks to a Russian journalist. Oopsie. This time, the successful strike destroyed the Wagner PMC headquarters in Popasna yesterday. He added that the number of the dead is being clarified. The Wagner group was deployed to Crimea in Ukraine's Donbass region in 2014 when Kremlin-backed forces ousted Ukrainian troops from area they declared to be part of Russia. Wagner units have also been sent to Syria, Libya, Mali, and the Central African Republic. The Kremlin does not acknowledge Wagner's existence, but Western intelligence links the group to Yevgeny Prigozhin, nicknamed Putin's chef, for being a hot dog water boy. The Prigozhin, he's a hot dog chef, and he got it. And Vladimir Putin likes his glazzy recipe. From the armed forces, Mr. Prigozhin, like many other Russian officials, is subject to Western sanctions. The chef runs the Wagner group. Here's more on that. Ukrainian military obliterates Wagner group base in Popasna. Lugansk governor confirms. The armed forces of Ukraine once again successfully worked on enemy headquarters, which was pointed out to them by one of the representatives in Russian media. This time yesterday in Popasna, Wagner's PMC headquarters was destroyed by accurate firepower. Hayday said the number of casualties was being verified. At the time, he did not disclose any other details about the Ukrainian attack. HIMARS and hot dog emojis in the chat. Spam the hot dog and HIMARS emojis back to back. Journalist Denis Kazansky said on August 14th that Ukrainian military had used HIMARS multiple launch rocket systems to hit the Wagner Group headquarters in occupied Popasna. After the attack by Ukrainian military, the mercenaries took out the dead and wounded from under the rubble of the base. Russian military correspondent Sergei Streda recently visited Wagner mercenaries in the Donbass and took photos with them. One of the photos shows a person who looks like a Wagner PMC owner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, while the other photo shows a sign with the address of the nearest bomb shelter, which is 12 Mironivska Street. The building used by the Wagner Group was located at 8 Mironivska Street. Wagner Group. Let me show you all the picture. You do full screen? No. I agree, but I don't want to subscribe. I want the full photo. There we go. So you got the street sign of where they're at in the background. You got Mironivska Street number 12 right here. You can see the circle in the back. That's the sign. And their headquarters was hit after this photo was taken. Please continue posting pictures like this. So whenever we go through Rob Lee's timeline and we're hitting the Russian photos, it's maybe important to peep those a little more, because these types of people tell on themselves because they think that they're in the right. They think that what they're doing is right. So they're open on social media about it, and social media continues to own them. A base by the Kremlin-linked Wagner mercenary group in eastern Ukraine is believed to have been destroyed after its location was accidentally revealed by one of Putin's own propagandists. Sergei Streda, which that person, Sergei, is likely in or probably unpersoned right now, in a Russian gulag. Shared images of himself shaking hands with a man resembling Yevgeny Prigozhin, a close confidant of Putin, also known as Putin's chef, at the Wagner base last week. The Russian military reporter took photographs of the base on August 8th and posted them on his Telegram channel. They showed soldiers covering their faces, but with a sign giving the address of the building. Help. Stupid. They showed soldiers covering their face. I read that. You can see the address of the building, Mironivska 12, clearly visible. The photos have since been deleted. It's too late. These guys don't even know what a operational security means. It would be a nightmare for Russia if they took on actual Western units. It would be a nightmare for them. Out there in some soft shoes, wearing whatever you want. Oopsie. Act of goodwill? Wagner acts of goodwill? Surprised Russia didn't frame it that way. Surprised Russia didn't frame it like that. Here's from ABC. This was posted 42 minutes ago. Wagner Group base reportedly hit by Ukraine. Rocket strike. More warnings about shelling near Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Oh, here's a photo. Before and after. Here we go, chat. HIMARS hit a Wagner mercenaries base in Popasna and occupied territories. Wagner Group is a private army of Putin responsible for atrocities all over the world, including Ukraine. It seems the location was found out from a photo made by Russia's own propagandist. So there's the before. Oof. Oof. Operational security is life and death. Keep posting to social media, though. Keep doing it. Operational security. Russia does not care. All right, that's it for the Wagner group. We're gonna wait for more information on that as it comes out. See if there would be. I'm not sure. I'm sure there won't be any video. Tighten that up. So here's a New York Times piece about the Southern Axis and Ukraine's counteroffensives that came out before I went live. Ukraine chips away at Russian-held region, but the task is daunting. So again, this has to do with the Southern Axis in Ukraine that we touched on during the map breakdown. But that is all taking place here. Excuse me. I'll just use the free draw. On the front line in the Southern Axis, all within the green. It extends from Mykolaiv through Zaporizhia Oblast. Ukrainian forces badly want to retake the southern region of the Kherson from Russian invaders, but Moscow retains a potentially overwhelming advantage. So this could be why Ukraine hasn't punched through yet. Despite Ukraine continuing to hit key bridges and infrastructure that inhibits and limits the Russian military. From the Mykolaiv region of Ukraine, in their summer campaign to drive Russian troops from the southern region of Kherson, Ukraine's forces have decimated Russian command centers and ammunition depots, severed supply lines with precision strikes on key bridges, and sown terror among collaborationist officials with a spate of car bombings, shootings, and Ukrainian officials say at least one poisoning. In the sun-baked fields of the Kherson's western border, Ukrainian fighters who would be called on to deliver the knockout blow in any successful effort to retake territory remain pinned down in their trenches. The cuts to supply lines have not yet eroded Moscow's overwhelming advantage in artillery, ammunition, and heavy weaponry, making it difficult, but if not impossible, for Ukrainian forces to press forward without suffering enormous casualties. Without question, we need a counteroffensive. I sincerely believe it will come, said 33-year-old lieutenant with call sign Ada, who commands an outpost of trench works in the Mykolaiv region, a few miles from the Russian lines in Kherson. But he said we need advantage in numbers. We need advantage in heavy weapons. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a problem. Ukrainians have acutely felt the loss of the Kherson region, with its vast black earth farmlands, famous for producing the country's tastiest tomatoes and watermelons. Just about the entire region was seized in the first few weeks of the war after Russian troops struck from their bases in the Russian-occupied Crimean Peninsula. Since then, Ukraine's leaders have plotted to take it back. But doing so presents major challenges. Russia maintains overwhelming superiority in troop numbers and ammunition, and in recent weeks, the Kremlin has moved to reinforce its military in the region, shifting resources there from the fighting in the eastern Donbass. This is still assuming that Russia's military is strong, though. Did New York Times go in and investigate what units are being sent? And the quality that is going? Oh, it doesn't look like it. So they're assuming that Russian troops mean, like, that's scary. They're not looking at the Tiger Battalion that Russia's sending and some of these other random battalions that Russia is choosing from. So this assumes that Russia's sending a scary military out there, and they're not. And backup troops. Ukraine is also operating under a condensed timeline. The Kremlin plans to hold a referendum to Kherson's absorption by Russia in mid-September. And disrupting it would require Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky and his generals to take some kind of significant offensive action soon. The real limitations the Ukrainians face is that moving forward in the combat environment today is really difficult, said Phillips P. O'Brien, a professor of strategic studies at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. Unless you have total command of the skies and the ability to clear out the area in front of your troops, those moving forward are in real danger of getting eaten away. But Russia's position in Kherson is also precarious. Though Ukrainian troops have not advanced for weeks in Kherson, their artillery campaign appears to have borne fruit. slowing the flow of Russian arms, equipment, and troops into the region, to include the most recent strike on the bridgehead in Melitopol. The most recent strike that was conducted over the weekend. Ukrainian forces have pounded 3 bridges over the vast Dnipro River and connect thousands of Russian troops to their supply lines in occupied Ukrainian territory east of the river. The strikes have rendered these bridges inoperable. Natalia Guchimanek, the spokesperson for Ukraine's military southern command over the weekend, Ukrainian forces launched yet another strike on the Antonivsky Bridge. The question is now whether the pressure on supply lines will be sufficient to cripple the fighting capacity of Russian troops, which that's not hard to cripple. They don't have a will to fight. The Russian military, they don't have a will, they don't have a way, they don't have supplies. They're recruiting increasingly less cognitively less. So like they're recruiting dumb people. I don't know how to nicely say it. People that don't even have a middle school education. Like they don't even have basic. Like they're gonna be very ignorant and easy to manipulate with ideological based information and arguments. That's why Russia's going to these types, like middle school, one-time payments of like $4,000 to go fight for 3 years. They're like, that's not even being talked about. Yes, Russia has more rockets right now and rocket capabilities, not as precise, not as their precision capabilities aren't as good as Ukraine's now. And that is also, this story is also giving weight to the Russian troops as if they're meaningful, and they're not. The Russian military, the ground forces are like, I'd rate them a D-, nearing F. Like the worst. They don't even know how to operate. Like basic soldiering. I doubt if they even know how to march. Like taking it back even further to basic soldiering skills that you learn when you join any normal military or any conventional military in the West. You have to learn how to do basic soldiering. And Russians they don't care either, because they're continuing to expand their recruit pool and recruit people that have no business in a military uniform, and their training is getting shorter and shorter. They're sending everybody but Russia ethnic Russians. They're recruiting in oblasts and cities across Russia that aren't even ethnic Russians, and recruiting there, offering them garbage payments. I'm talking like $2,000, even less than that, in the hundreds of dollars, one-time payment to go die in Ukraine, to go fight. So they're going to go, non-ethnic Russians are going to go fight an ethnic cleansing war in the East, which even that, the Donetsk Republics, or the Donetsk People's Republic, the Lugansk People's Republic, now do not want to fight beyond their oblast, because that's why they fought, right? And Russia propagandized that, used that for invasion, and now their useful idiocy, the Kremlin's going to be like, well, that doesn't matter. We're going to continue fighting anyways, and they're going to have to be forced to fight. They being the Donetsk People's Republic, the Lugansk People's Republic, just ongoing issues within the actual ground forces that Russia has wearing a uniform and wearing that Russian flag. Some of them don't even do that. Terrible. The worst. Let's continue on. Let's get some video updates now. We strike back mightily. Ukrainian troops slug it out with big guns. This is from Radio Free Europe on YouTube.
Сюда. Можно до вас? Можно.
So you're going to have a journalist and a soldier here in a trench taking cover. You can see the difference in the soldier who's used to this, which happens. I served in the military. I'm a veteran. I served in the Middle East. So there's a time in which, you know, in the Middle East, when the United States, when we were serving, we had indirect fire or mortar attacks on bases. So there'd be like a loud alarm, and it would go incoming, Don IBA, Don Kevlar. Like it'd have like an announcement on the base, and like eventually you don't even get up anymore. You just like or sleep through it, or it's complacency. It is complacency no matter what. But eventually you get to a point that this troop is here in the trench where you just are just like, all right, here we go again.
От так от кожен день.
This is how it goes.
Як попадає.
Yep, chilling. You get used to it. You just get used to it, as bad as that is, and that is why PTSD and post-traumatic stress is such a big deal. Because how do you go from this environment to try to live in a calm, normal one?
Ну так. Далеко пішов.
Look at the difference. This guy.
Ведеться обстріл. От тільки-тільки проїхали, буквально безперебійно таке. Ще.
Night and day between the two, right?
Зараз рухаємося з українськими артилеристами, які виконують просто бойове завдання. Щойно були приходи, і артилеристи дають відсіч.
Gotta put some lube on that. Oh man, couldn't imagine being an artillery crew in that thing. Like the concussion that you would get.
Коли сьогодні працювали, це була робота по живій силі противника. Піхота, відповідно, наступала, ми її притискали, щоб наші могли навести свої сили та засоби.
Удар тримаємо, даємо гідну відсіч, гідно відповідаємо. Моральний дух високий. З нами правда, з нами Бог. Отже, ми переможемо. Слава Україні!
Zelensky urging civilians to evacuate. Hey, thanks, Jeff, for the super chat. Thank you so much. That's Radio Free Europe. Their video report: as Russian forces advance toward the city of Bakhmut, Donetsk region, Ukrainian troops have launched counterattacks to push them back. Ukrainian forces continue to fight against a Russian army that maintains a numerical advantage in heavy weaponry. Hey, John, with a big $10 super chat. Thank you for our vets and our heroes. Shout out to all the veterans that are tuned in. Evacuees from Kherson expressed relief after escaping Russian occupation. Over here on Mercado Media, we got a 420 friendly stream, so spark one up if you need to. I have PTSD and other mental health concerns, so it helps me with that. So you see me smoking over here, it's 420. So, and also shout out to our sober community and those in recovery.
Нашому водію з евакуаційної групи «Берегиня» було дуже легко, і він допомагав морально людям адаптуватися до усіх випробувань, які нас чекали на блокпостах. Були змушені повністю виймати всі свої речі з власних сумок, показувати кожну річ окупантам. І вони переглядали абсолютно все. Тобто треба було відносити техніку на перевірку, напружена дуже обстановка, не працюють практично магазини, не працюють аптеки, ліки продаються з машин або з підлоги на вулиці, тобто вони зберігаються без необхідних умов. Всюди висять триколори. По місту так, щоб з одного району виїхати до іншого, треба пройти блокпост. Іноді це просто паспортний контроль, іноді це перевірка речей та телефонів.
Роздягають хлопців?
Хлопців так роздягають, і навіть іноді знімають взуття, аби перевірити, що там нічого не проносять, що немає татуювань якихось, чи ще.
За минулий місяць було 24 тисячі людей. За останню добу 741 з Херсонщини з 1642 людей, які виїхали в цілому.
Ви прибули вчора, правильно? Пишемо дату вчорашню. Звідки ви прибули?
Пропонують до Львова, а там далі вже допоможуть. Не працюють ні банки, ні банкомати, неможливо готівку ніде зняти, немає роботи.
Слава Богу, у нас все обійшлося, ми встигли. Ми вранці виїхали і ввечері вже були тут. Тобто складності були, тяжко було обшук речей, коли в нас рилися, там все. Головне, що ми сюди приїхали і поки що шукаємо, боїмося побачити зетку на машині, ще не відійшли, ми з Херсона приїхали. Сьогодні ми відправляємося на Львів, а потім в Острій. Там начебто вже є місце в школі.
Lviv is the furthest city, the largest western city closest to Poland.
Шокласниця.
Евакуюйтесь, особливо жінки з дітьми, особливо маломобільні, люди похилого віку. Іде важка зима. Нам потрібно допомогти вам врятуватися від холодів і від ворога, який буде лише більше і більше посилювати свій тиск на громади.
Wow. So that was another report. Again, Ukrainians who managed to flee under Russian occupation in southern region of Kherson have made it to Zaporizhia, and some say they will stay with family while others are still working out their plans. Credit to Radio Free for that. We have some super chats over here on YouTube from Lewis, a $5 super chat. We have Sweaty, Chungus, a common viewer over Mercado Media, LSA members in the chat. Let's show Mercado some love and spam. $5 super chats for his Monday coverage. Thank you, Chungus, for that. Also, feel free. My coverage here on Mercado Media is at 8 p.m. Central, so an hour before y'all tune in to Enforcer. Cora thank you so much for joining the membership. Level 1, Cora Brown, thank you. We got Fat Wong 36, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We got John, who's been a member for 6 months, level 1, and then B Dobson. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat from the Leaf Spring Army in the chat. Leaf Spring Army combined with the Orc Hunters, I promise Russia doesn't stand a chance. Hands down. So before we get into some further video updates, I want to touch on some of the latest that's going on within Ukraine at this moment. All right, I wanted to include that with some of our coverage. You know, a lot of it is summary from the day, but there is also some things that are going on immediately. So this is going to be like the short break from videos, and we have a whole video timeline to go through and combat footage. So I just want to see what's going on in Ukraine at this time right now. Ukraine's parliament voted on Monday to extend martial law and military mobilization by another 90 days through November 21st. These measures were put into place after Russia invaded the country on the 24th. So they had so Ukraine extended martial law and military mobilization for another 90 days. Meanwhile, Saudi billionaire Prince Alawid bin Talal invested more than $500 million into Russian energy firms around the time of Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Saudi Arabia has fostered close ties with Russia, with both countries cooperating in OPEC Plus on oil production. Financial Times. So Saudi Arabia just sus, dude. Saudi Arabia and Turkey just stay in the sus basket at all times. So some of the latest, we got the study of war. So what are they talking about here? Potential divisions among Russian proxies, which we touched on. So the Kyiv Independence Report, we're picking that up. Some of the LNR and DNR not wanting to fight beyond their own oblasts. Okay. We touched on that. There are some strong suspicion with the strange statements. What are we going with here? So, Pope Francis said the war in Ukraine has distracted attention from the problem of world hunger and called for urgent food aid to stave off looming famine in Somalia. Excuse me? Pope? Ukraine war diverts attention from hunger, Pope says in Somalia. Pope Francis said on Sunday that the war in Ukraine had distracted attention from the problem of world hunger. The world's going to have an even bigger hunger problem if Ukraine can't get this grain exports out. What are you talking about, Pope? You know how much the world relies on Ukraine for grain exports alone? What are you talking about? The people of this region who already live in very precarious conditions are now in moral danger because of drought, he said in a weekly address in the St. Peter's Square, referring to the Horn of Africa. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization said this month that it could officially declare famine in 8 regions of Somalia next month if livestock continue to die. Could key commodity prices rise further, humanitarian assistance fails to reach the most vulnerable. Francis told pilgrims and tourists in the square that he wanted to draw attention to the grave humanitarian crisis that has hit Somalia and some areas of bordering countries. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, and the Norwegian Refugee Council said last week that about 1 million people have been internally displaced in Somalia since January. UN agencies said other organizations have appealed for more funding. I hope that the international solidarity can respond efficiently to this emergency. Unfortunately, the war in Ukraine has distracted attention and resources, but these are the aims that call for the utmost commitment. The fight against hunger, healthcare, and education.
What the fuck is that?
Who's the Pope? Who's Pope? The Pope. Whoever is the Vatican Pope. I don't subscribe to Catholicism, but what is that about? Interesting. Ukraine's a distraction, according to the Pope. Pope Francis. Okay, Russia, too dangerous for the IAEA to go through Kyiv to visit Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. So Russia restricting the IAEA, EIO, to go visit the Zaporizhzhia power plant. What? Excuse me? Since when do we have article limits? We're getting around that. Since when does Reuters have article limits? No, we're going around that. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, I guess I can't get in on that one either. Unless I have to sign in. Let me sign in really quick. I think that might be it. Let me sign in on Reuters really quick so we can get that. Drop a comment where you're tuning in from while we're waiting. Oh yeah, 2 seconds. It's already filled out. Okay, we're good. Crisis averted. Too dangerous for IAEA to go through Kyiv to visit Zaporizhzhia on the 16th. Wow. So this is like in the future. This was posted. When was this posted? 1 minute? No, it was posted at 6:16 p.m. on the 15th. That was 4 hours ago. So this is based off of Ukraine time. So an article in the future? Any mission undertaken by the UN's nuclear agency to inspect Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia plant cannot pass through the capital Kyiv as it is too dangerous. A senior Russian diplomat was quoted by Russian news agencies saying on Tuesday. Imagine what it means to pass through Kyiv. It means they get the nuclear plant. It means they get to the nuclear plant through the front line. RIA news agency quoted Igor Venetsky, deputy head of the foreign minister's nuclear proliferation and arms control department, as telling journalists. That's not right. That's not right. How is that the front lines, right? So here's the map. Okay. I'm gonna highlight where Zaporizhzhia NPP. Are you down with NPP? Let's make it a big red circle because Russia controls it. just southeast of the town of Nikopol. It's in the circle, right? That's where the Zaporizhia power plant is. I'm going to circle Kyiv. There's the capital, okay? So what Russia is saying, that I'm going to use green now for the IAEIEIEIO for entering the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Russia is saying that this is the direction in which the IAEA would be traveling through the front lines. They can't go through Kyiv because that's the front lines. Oh. That's weird. Looks like the front lines to me are in the east and in the south and over by Russian territory. So that tells me that Russia can't even read a map, or they won't read a map, or they don't. That doesn't matter. Russia won't even tell a single truth and just blatantly lie and run with it. So the truth of the matter is the front lines are over here in the east and in the south, so any advance through Russia would be going through the front lines. Russia wants the IAEA to travel through Russia to do this. That would be very good for the state media to see the IAEA traveling through Russian territory in the east, given signal that this isn't the front lines, it's just special military operation going on. Ain't no war going on. Wild. So the Russians want the IAEA to travel through the east instead of going through the capital. Their words is because that Kyiv is the front lines. The fact is, it was the front lines until Russia got absolutely their ass kicked up north of Kyiv and to the west of Kyiv, where Russia committed atrocities in Bucha and Irpin. Mass graves, like Nazi-style mass graves from World War II. This is a huge risk, given that Ukraine's armed forces are not all made up in this way. So talking about that's a further quote from the RIA news agency. UN spokesperson Stephanie Durijic said on Monday that in New York that the UN secretary had assessed that the logistics and security capacity to be able to support any IAEA mission to the Russian-controlled Zaporizhia plant from Kyiv. TASS news agency quoted Vyshevsky as saying that any such mission had no mandate to address the demilitarization of the plant as demanded by Kyiv, as it could only deal with the fulfillment of IAEA guarantees. You know what else talks about the IAEA? Metal Gear Solid, baby. I've streamed the entire franchise. Oops. I streamed the entire franchise to Snack Squad. And they needed the Big Boss. Big Boss needed the IAEA to come visit the mother base, and it wasn't actually the IAEA. It was Skullface's XOF came when they came to visit mother base's nuclear capability. Also from today, visiting the war ruins of Borodyanka near Kyiv. So here's what a real actor looks like. And using their own words instead of Steven Seagal for Russia now. Actor Liev Schreiber, who was Sabretooth in X-Men, he's Wolverine's brother, said it was important to keep international attention on the war in Ukraine to generate a constant flow of donations.
One of the things that I would like to, the rest of the world to know. And
what does IAEA stand for? Sure, it's International Something Energy Agency. IAEA. International Atomic Energy Agency. There you go. I'll say it 3 times. International Atomic Energy Agency. International Atomic Energy Agency. There. IAEA. Anyways. Back to Liev Schreiber. Sabretooth, visiting the site of war crimes in Ukraine, and had some words to say. Ray Donovan, great show.
One of the things that I would like to, the rest of the world to know, and especially in America, is Ukrainians are...
Ray Donovan versus Steven Seagal, dude. That's a silly thing to say, but comment.
Incredibly resilient.
Liev Schreiber would destroy him.
We're seeing these buildings bombed, and right next door, people are, planting what they can plant, getting on with their lives. Kids are playing soccer. It's like life as usual. And I think that's really, really important to keep doing that, to keep moving forward. Otherwise you let them win in a small way, and I don't think they should. This is like, it's a coward's move. It's not, you know.
Cowardice.
It's not that big a deal. You're not fighting a giant here. You're fighting there's a word for it we have back home, but I can't use it on TV.
Pussy. I can say it. Independent news. No censorship over here. So there's a word that you'd use instead of cowardice. There it was. Soft. Soft as pillows. So here's some more. So this is just the latest what's going on, and then we still have some more video to go through for the day. The Ukrainian military says it repelled more than a dozen Russian attacks on the country's east and north. Included were attempts to advance on key cities in the eastern industrial heartland known as the Donbass. So Ukrainian military says it repelled more than a dozen attacks. Ukrainian military said Monday it has repelled more than a dozen Russian attacks in the country's east and north, including attempts to advance on key cities in the eastern industrial heartland known as the Donbass. So this would likely be the repelling of the Russian advances, specifically in Soledar and Bakhmut. In its regular Facebook update, the military's general staff said Russian troops had attempted to push towards Kramatorsk, one of the two major cities in eastern Donetsk. Did they, though? They failed. They added that they failed completely. They didn't really advance towards Kramatorsk. They have to get through Sloviansk to get through Kramatorsk. Dude, is doing the news easy? Can you just be lazy? Like, they have to get through Sloviansk to get to Kramatorsk. Let's settle down on that. Let's settle down. Associated Press. Listen, they got to get through Sloviansk, which that is a fail. They haven't failed. They failed miserably every time they advance. And then to get through Sloviansk, then you get to Kramatorsk. So probably using Kramatorsk because that's a recognizable city name due to the strike that killed 50 at the railway station at the beginning of the summer, at the end of spring. But whatever. That's why y'all tune into independent media, right? That's why y'all tune into independent media, so you can actually see extra details across YouTube and whatever else y'all tune into. The Donetsk region is one of the two provinces that make up the Donbass, where fighting has largely been focused in recent months since the Kremlin focuses retreated around the capital. Russian officials announced the full capture of the Lugansk region, the second of the two, early last month, though its Ukrainian governor has repeatedly claimed that Kyiv's forces are holding out in a small area. So, we all went through that during the map update. Feel free to rewind and watch our map breakdown, or wait for tomorrow. We'll have a nice, beautiful, edited map breakdown video posted while I'm live during the daytime coverage, which I'm live covering daytime news now from noon until 5 p.m. or around that time. Noon to 5 Central, so that'd be 1 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'm live covering whatever news is going on for the day in the same style that I'm doing this. We have an awesome audience growing for that, so feel free to tune in. All right, let's continue on our video updates. That's about it. That update from Reuters was from a while ago. Nothing huge or breaking that we haven't touched on already. So let's continue on. First, we're going to go to John. Shout out to John Sweeney. He hasn't updated. He didn't update today or yesterday. I wonder if he's being sent to certain areas within Ukraine right now. But we have a war update from the 13th that I know I haven't shown the stream. So this is from John Sweeney, War Diary from day 171.
War Diary, day 171, Kyiv. I was in the shower a few minutes ago, and there was a low crump. And I thought it was a Russian rocket. As it worked out, no. It was thunder after lightning. It's bucketing down here, and it's kind of beautiful. I've been to Italy, seen how terrifying the heat is there. So it's kind of beautiful, but it's raining. But you've got to remember that that my anxiety is rooted in reality. The Russian army is still prosecuting its brutal and pitiless war in the south and east of Ukraine. And good people, as you go about your normal lives in London, or New York, Rome, Berlin, are being murdered for no good reason. So we've got to help our Ukrainian friends defeat Vladimir Putin's killing machine. We need to give them money. We need to give them heavy metal. We need to give them the right kind of heavy metal. Planes and tanks and guns. So they can stop this dark nonsense. And people here and people in the West can go back to doing what we love best, which is drinking beer and having fun and reading books and all of that. From Kyiv, even on a rainy day, a simple message to Vladimir Putin: do fuck off.
Do fuck off.
Love from Kyiv.
Vladimir Putin, do fuck off. So just talking about his Kyiv diary, John Sweeney post daily. He hasn't posted though today. Day 172. That was just a photo post. Time for a pint with John. All right, now let's get to the timeline of all the latest combat footage within Ukraine. Also, I have an extended video at the end that we're going to watch about Kharkiv scouts from the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense and some of their combat footage that was posted to YouTube. I missed it over the weekend. I wasn't live. I had softball stuff, and then I was just physically tired by Sunday. Just a long weekend. My busy summer weekends, though, are going to be coming to an end. So y'all will be having more stream on the weekends. More content from me. All right. You got a video of an M181 robot dog armed with an RPG. Jeez, dude. Really? Really? So this is at a Russian weapons expo. They got the DARPA dog, or their version of that thing. I can fire a damn RPG-26. That'd be terrifying, seeing that pull up on you in the field. Video of Ukrainian Stugna P ATGM strike reportedly on a Russian tank. Stugna P in the chat. P's in the chat. No audio here on this one. Hard to see anything in this video, so I thought I was going to get clear. And you can see the explosion towards the end there. Kinda. That wasn't the best Stugna P video. Videos of Russia Ka-52 helicopter that was targeted by Ukrainian air defenses this morning by a manpads. Hit by manpads. That wasn't a clear video either. Two videos back to back, kind of mushy quality. Video of the strike on a Ka-52 helicopter in Volodar. Of course, Russia. Okay, so here's the full, or the second part, first part. Russia says that the crew's alive. That was a much clearer video to see than the previous one. Okay. He got video of mortar or artillery fire from Azov's SSL Kharkiv unit on Russian BMPs and ammunition storage. Oh, this is a copyrighted song. Such a good song, though. It is a good song. Okay, that's it. Now y'all have to sing it in your head. The rest of it. Wow. Dang. Yep. No doubt about that. From the Azov battalion. Hitting a Russian BMPs and ammunition storage. There was the site being hit. All right. Video of Ukrainian Stugna-P ATGM strike reportedly on a Russian TOS-2 thermobaric multiple launch rocket system, though it's hard to tell. I don't have monetization on my videos anyway, so. The only thing I make off of it, I don't care if music plays. The only thing I make is if y'all send super chat, super stickers, and stars, members, and supporters anyways. So I play music sometimes. Just enough to get around the copyright. With Reptile Putin, this is 1939 all over again from William Gordon Umphrey. Thank you for the super chat. I am not arguing that. Definitely some comparisons to that time and what's going on. Video from Ukraine's 22nd Motorized Infantry Battalion of a T-64 BM tank being used as artillery to target a Russian MTLB from the aid of a UAV. So they're targeting a Russian MTLB. Oops, so loud. Also, y'all, if you can't support monetarily right now, the best way to support me is to subscribe to the channel, which is free to do. Subscribe to YouTube, follow on Facebook, take the moment, it takes 2 seconds. We're nearing 40,000, so I'd like to get to that. That's my goal, 40,000 subs. I'm 1,000, no, I'm actually 900 subs away. Under 900 away. And that is free, and that helps significantly. I'm not sure if this audio is copyrighted or not, so I didn't want to. I turned it down so you can see the vehicles in the tree line being highlighted. T-64 BM being used to take out that MTLB from a distance. There's it destroyed. Destroyed in the tree line. Video from Ukraine's 28th Mechanized Brigade reportedly showing a Russian vehicle hitting an anti-tank mine. Hey, thank you, Jeff. Wow. That's a ammunition storage right there. That's a key target that was just hit. Based upon the cloud and the smoke plume coming out of that one. Oh my goodness. That's a big plume of smoke there. Russian vehicle hitting an anti-tank mine. That was a bigger strike than just a Russian. Then there's a tank hitting an anti-tank mine. That's a big explosion for just a mine. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think that was a bigger. That's just a big explosion for hitting a mine. Unless that vehicle was full of ammunition. That could be it. Your undated video showing a Ukrainian Toka U launch.
Это нормальная ситуация. Да.
Yeah, this is Ukraine's Toka U.
Это нормальная ситуация. Да.
Facts, Josh. Facts. And if Hitler didn't screw over Stalin, Russia could have very well have fought for Axis powers in that war. If Hitler didn't screw over Russia. Video of Ukrainian loitering munitions strike on a communications tower in Belgorod. So this is in Russian territory. It's just being open now that targets in Russian territory being hit now. In actual Russian territory, not Russian occupied territory in Ukraine. This is within the Russian Federation border. Oh. Oh, it's leaning. Oh, is that it? Oh. Is it gonna fall? Oh. Oh. There it goes. And down. That's Russia's war effort right there in a video. And there it went. Destroyed. One little loitering munition strike on a communications tower took that thing out. That took nothing. That was a drop of a grenade from a drone. DNR T-72B3 tank in the Pisky area. Oh, we got to see if they're revealing any dates or locations here. Yeah, check all pictures since Russian media is telling on themselves. They don't care about operational security, so they must want their soldiers to get hit. Russia needs to keep posting to their telegrams and their Instagram. It's great. Russian Telegram channel is raising funds to purchase Atlas helmets for Russian border guards. Because your government won't get you your own border guards. You got to raise your own funds for those. Russian channels are sharing photos of Prigozhin with Wagner veteran and a hero of Russia, Andriy Bogatov, though it is unclear when they were actually taken. Let's go. Oh, these are the pictures that led up to that headquarters being hit, the Wagner private military contractors. You got the date and the street to the back left. Avdiivka Street. Daniel, you keep trying. I think Daniel Griff in the chat must only get paid like 10 rubles an hour, which is that like what, 10 cents maybe? For 10 rubles a day, you control live streams. Russian channels are sharing photos of Prigozhin, so there's another photo of him, the hot dog water boy. Oops. Looks like it's taken as the same location as the earlier picture of Wagner out carrying a casualty. You can see the inclined rubble in a refrigerator looks similar. Okay. See the refrigerator there. Okay. Oh. That looks oddly familiar. Go back. That looks like the same picture in a different angle. They're carrying out a casualty in this one. And there's the photo of Prigozhin and Wagner looking out. Oof. Well, Daniel, you should hate the Russian and the Kremlin then. You should hate the Kremlin if you hate Nazis. Weak argument. Video of Iran's exhibit from the army at the 2022 Defense Expo. Islamic Republic of Iran. Oh. So Iran, the military expo in Russia. They have the model of the Iranian Mojaher UAV. That Russia's gonna have. Interesting. There is a model of it. It looks like a Predator drone. Video of OG-29 and TBG-29V rockets. So this is all at that expo. Anti-personnel OG-105. This is from Iran. Russia looking to Iran for help because they're one of the biggest superpowers in the world and they can't fight Ukraine by themselves because their military is terrible. Embarrassment. I don't know why. I mean, if I was a Russian soldier, I would have that. I'd be embarrassed to have that Russian Federation flag. There's some helicopters being shown. Iran helicopter support renewal. BM-20, BM-200, BM-300 rockets. All at Russia's Expo. All right, here's video of the Donetsk Republic T-80 tank and T-72 tanks.
Машины к планированию боевых задач поступили целеуказания подавления огневых точек противника. Танки орудия 125-го калибра, но способны стрелять технику противника, эти огневые точки. Ну и живую силу тоже, живую силу. У вас снаряды какие? Боекомплект бронебойные, да? Бронебойные, осколочные газ и кумулятивные.
You see how rusty their munitions were on the ground? Put some boss battle music to it. I will coach after the stream. So that's again from the DNR using a T80 BV tank and a T72 B1. Here's some Getty Images photos of the tanks. Getty Images of T72 and T80 BV tanks. Continuing on, it appears the NOF factory in Soledar was captured by Russian forces. Apparently, it was taken by Wagner and LNR forces that are now holding it. The NOF factory, which we went into a little earlier in the stream through our map breakdown. This is in Soledar, so let me pull it up on the map in case we have any new viewers quick. So you're looking at this report, again, is Russian side, Russian perspective. So this is going to be in Bakhmut and going to be talking about the Russians' advance here in Soledar. So let me do this right here. Ukrainian-controlled city of Bakhmut, Ukrainian-controlled city of Soledar. Is going to talk about the Wagner group and other Russian forces' advance towards the town of Soledar. So this video is going to be a Russian perspective video about this advance.
Быстрее, 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 братья.
So that was all for the video. All that you've seen. But regardless, it shows that they've advanced through the factory. Regardless if this video that they made was a recreation. Because all that right here we just seen was cap. That's all junk. All junk right there. But regardless, they're in the factory. And that reflects the reports of the Russian military being in the NOF factory in Soledar. One more time. Show y'all where the NOF factory is. So we're zooming in. Here's Bakhmut in the town of Soledar. GPS. There is the NOF plant right here with the pink roof and the pink colors. Hey, what's up, Carol? Good to see you. Thank you so much for saying what's up. That is the NOF plant right on the other side of the T1302 highway. which used to be a key ground line of communication supply line for connecting Bakhmut up to Lysychansk and Sevierodonetsk. Let's continue. The BRM reconnaissance vehicle with a BTR-80 turret at the Army Expo. Looks like a crowd control vehicle. Reconnaissance vehicle? I don't know about that. Deleting this because the Russian Ministry of Defense is recycling old footage. Okay. They're admitting it now? Now that, I mean, Rob, shout out to Rob Lee for all the timelines, but they've been recycling old footage. How many times have we seen that long rectangular building get hit in this similar faction? And it's being presented as a new video from the Russian Ministry of Defense with their precision guided missile strikes. So I'm glad others are catching on to it. We've been seeing it with our own eyes. Photos of the KH-69 air-to-surface missile at KTRV stand with a reported max range of 290 kilometers. It is to be used by the Su-27. Oof. It's got a long range, 290 kilometers. Some photos of it. Some more from the Army Expo, the PRP-5 reconnaissance vehicle with a BMP-3 chassis. Yuck. That looks horrible. On a BMP, though. Okay. That's what they want to do. Another video of Ukrainian HIMARS launching a G multiple launch rocket system. HIMARS systems in the chat. Why do we got to be Biden voters supporting Ukraine, Daniel? Because Russia's a Trump supporter? Is that why? Russia has no connection, though. Russia has no connection to American politics, though. My fucking ass. The trolls have made it clearer than ever for the rest of us. Many of the trolls made the truth clear as day. It is what it is. Bunch of Biden voters. I voted third party. Smart guy. I've done so many polls, and the majority of our chat is independent, and every time. Video showing 2 Russian BM-27 Uragan multiple launch rocket system, 9 P-140 launchers, and 4 2S-4 Tupoleon 240 heavy mortars on a train reportedly in Ukraine. Russian equipment being sent in. Okay. So some more Russian vehicles being sent to the front lines to become cannon fodder. A model of the Pantsir S-1M and a smaller missile designed to counter UAVs. High precision weapons. Some photos. Is this all coming from the Expo? Yep. Might as well just finish going down the timeline so I can skip past them. Here's more of the pieces of equipment showcased at the Army Expo. Those are the big boys. The big cruise missile launchers. Abakan anti-ballistic missile system. The Viking Air Defense Systems 9S38E. Target Acquisition Radar and 9A317ME, 9A316ME, and 9A383E launchers. This was all at the Expo in Russia that was held. Military Expo. Military vehicles. A CUAS Tiger M vehicle with 4 7.62 PKTM machine guns and a radar designed to detect UAVs. Interesting. More from their Tiger U MRAPs. And we saw that BRM recovery vehicle. Okay. So there's some more pictures of equipment being showcased from, well, now yesterday's Russian Army Expo that was held. Iran was a guest. Russian Ka-52 and Mi-28 helicopters launching rockets.
Наверное.
Глянь, сколько, ни хрена себе.
Ну да.
5-6. А не понял, снизу как-то.
Got it. There it goes. I swear one was... What happened to that second one got real low? Oh, they're just getting real low. That's not what I seen at first. I thought it was shot down. Try to stay below the radar. Be undetected. Fly as high as they can, which is still low to the ground. Fire their rockets, quickly hit the flares, and then fly out. All very low to the ground.
Видишь, ПВО их не берет, украинская, пофиг вообще.
Бля, как тихо, слышишь?
Ну да, тихо, очень тихо.
Вообще ни хрена не слышно.
Главное, чтобы вышли все.
Да, главное, чтобы не было боя.
Ну, он сейчас последний уже.
Yeah, that's right, Mike.
Интересно, они видят нас вообще?
The Expo was in Russia. Here's a video reportedly showing multiple destroyed Russian T-72 tanks in the Izium front. Oof. Just going to be a T-72 to the top blow off compilation. To the top blow off. Bang. Or Chief Keef once said or something. T-72, does the top blow off? Undated video showing 2 simultaneous Ukrainian Toka-U launches. So those are Toka-U missile launches. We'll play without the music this time. 2 of them. 2 Ukrainian Toka-U launches. So we've seen one by itself, and now there's 2 side by side firing. Okay, let's continue on here. Saw those photos. Photos of a Russian Cam AZ 5350 that was reportedly struck by Grad multiple launch rocket systems from a distance of 2 meters. The crew was reportedly unharmed. Unharmed, of course. Every time. Look at the bullet holes or what? Russia will never admit to anything, though. So. Yeah, okay. Unharmed, yeah, strong windows. Probably got ballistic rated windows. Even those are gross though. Our military vehicles, thick bulletproof glass on there. At least the equipment I was on. The 1151 A1s, which we've seen go to Ukraine now from the US, those are the Humvees. And they had a sliding window that you had to do. You had to pull up the thing and then slide it open, and you only get like this much window to look out because the window is like this thick, and it has like rated up to like 50 cal strength. Photos of the LNR 2B9 Volselek mortar crew firing at Ukrainian positions from the back of a Ural truck. Interesting. Surprised that's not a Honda Helix out there holding it down. So trying to match the HIMARS. Russia always tries to mimic things from the West, and it sucks. So they're trying to make their... We don't need to know HIMARS, we'll make our own. So they can shoot and scoot too and try to keep up with Ukraine. Video of a Russian BMP running over a mine next to 2 damaged BMPs. A good indication of why Russian troops ride on top of their BMPs. Oof. That's why they ride on the top. How to get up out of there. Russian orcs running over mines still. It's common. Looks like the prospects for the L Leader class destroyer aren't great. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. United Shipbuilding Corporation's Alexei Rachmanov said the Admiral Kuznetsov is scheduled to be returned to the Russian Navy in 2024, and it will serve at least 25 years, which seems highly unlikely. He said OSKs increasingly focus on unmanned systems and that they should deliver 8 ships to the fleet this year and return 3 after repairs. He said he hoped they would deliver the Project 955A Kainaz Oleg and Project 885M Novosibirsk subs this year. Remember the Kuznetsov almost suffered the same fate as the Moskva. And it looks like the prospects for... So... The prospects for the ship and who's going to operate it aren't great. Looks like 95% of all post-Soviet Russian naval projects. Okay, well, Russia's navy is still terrible too. They have cruise missiles on their ships. That's what makes their navy scary. And just like Russia's military, their troops are dog water, but their missiles make them scary. That's it. Troops, garbage. Update. Hello, and thanks for the continued... Okay, so that's just been with reporting war crimes. I touched on that already. So this is Ukraine War Video Report. Any of the last video, well, before we get to the longer video, and this one's about a half hour long. It is what it is. We're going to watch it. It's combat footage of the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense, and that's how we'll wrap up tonight. But we're going to check out some of these videos. So does anyone remember this epic moment from the beginning of the war? He was right.
Do you expect Russians to be in the middle, in the center of Kyiv?
Never.
Never, he said. Never. He was right. Russian army has received new state-of-the-art helmets. Oh, likely to their border guards that we were looking at. Yep. Send them more of those. Whatever that brand is, they need more of those ones. Send the orcs this specific helmet. Find it out and start sending it to them. Only the best for these Russian clowns. A Russian mom worries about her captured son's iPhone 13 more than about her son. Sounds so familiar. Oh man, sounds so familiar.
Ваш сын в плену, его могли убить, а вы разыскиваете какой-то телефон. Это как-то совместимо вообще с чем?
Откуда совместимо? У нас дедушка парализованный после инсульта. Ему дедушка с бабушкой покупали его в кредит, iPhone 13. Для них, извините меня, они выплачивают кредит. И я как прихожу туда, у меня дед, у него с мозгами не в порядке, он мне постоянно чешет за это. Я же должна ему ответить, где делся телефон, вы понимаете?
А вы не думали, что мог быть совсем другой вопрос? А где сын?
В принципе.
Что про телефон уже можно было даже не...
So, cares more about the cell phone than her own son, who was captured. Wow. You can't just... Mama Orc. Polish President Andrzej Duda honored the memory of the fallen fighters of the Ukrainian People's Republic who fought in 1920 together with the Polish army against the Russian invaders. Why tolerance? Who? I'm a veteran. I served in the military. The fuck y'all think this is here? The trolls? I'm not a liberal fucking leftist. I have progressive ideas and shit, but I'm not the meme that you think is just wild. No. What are you talking about? They're orcs. They're fucking subhuman to me for doing the actions they are. Don't dehumanize people. Shut the fuck up. Like seriously, I'm at that point. Just like John tells Vladimir Putin to fuck off. Like they're subhuman to me. There's no else to put it. If you're committing atrocities like this in Ukraine and are doing this and are getting paid to do it, and you're on the news and you're getting awards for it, you're an orc. Fuck off then, Bear. I don't care. Fuck you think this is? Stugna P strike on Russian TOS-2 heavy flamethrower system. Not my fault they're sending their people to die. Figure it out.
Yes? Да, давай.
Stugna P's in the chat.
Что?
Yeah!
That was a better Stugna P video than the first one.
5 яиц картофлю.
Сука, вода.
Пизда нахуй.
I was probably a pen pushing pog. I've already showed my videos, guy. Yeah, get Secret Bear out of here. Fucking clown.
Сука, одна, Андрюха.
Заряжай ту, блядь.
Давай.
Probably getting banned off of every channel you go to. Zelensky to the Polish people on the occasion of the Day of the Armed Forces of the People's Republic of Poland. So this is President Zelensky talking about what happened in Poland today. I wish there was some English dubs. No, I can't watch that one. That one is not with English subtitles, so we're not going to know what that says.
A new war in Europe.
Kirsten children found an RPG and almost end up killing each other with it. Oh no. Okay, we can skip past that one. Some with children, we don't need to see that shit. In Switzerland, a Russian and a Belarusian attack students from Ukraine. Oh dear. Is there audio? I'm not seeing audio here. It's safe to view? Okay. Especially on Reddit. These videos don't get filtered like Rob does. The kids just get scared. Okay, we'll go back to it. There's no audio on this, so I can't. The Russian and Belarusian students attacked it from Ukraine. And then we'll have to wait for a video with some audio there. But there's no audio on that one. Where's the video? So, okay, so this one's good, says chat. Kirsten children found an RPG. Can't imagine what being a child and growing up in this would be like. Oh no. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. That was very close. Children found RPG. My goodness. Wow. That's wow. Very close. Yes, they are. Is Russia a state sponsor of terrorism? 100% yes. 100% Russia's a state sponsor of terrorism. So what is this? Riga residents weigh in? Where the hell is that? I want to know where Riga is first. In Latvia? Riga is in Latvia. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's see if we're back. Are we good? Fuck a DDoS. We're good? Hold on. YouTube, whoever stuck around. Let's see if it works. Let me see. Hope I didn't start. See if it'll come back. I see it spinning. Oh yeah. Fuck a DDoS, boy. Hey, we're back. Y'all see me now? Okay, we're good. Yeah, my whole stream, like my Streamlabs froze, my apps froze. We're back. I'm here. I quickly hit I checked the auto stop so it doesn't cut my stream on YouTube. And then I restarted my computer real fast. So Facebook audience, we're not on Facebook anymore. We're on YouTube only. Share the stream out, y'all. We're good to go. Everybody that thought you can't count me out, the fuck you think this is? Can't take me out. I've been through that. We used to have like 2,000 viewers here on Mercado Media every stream. So I dealt with this back in April when they tried doing that shit to me. Bear attacks, bear spray. Orc spray. I have a VPN. We're good. It's not just that too. It's just it's a factor of things. We're gonna let people come on back here. They're looking for it right now. I know it's lagging. It'll lag. It might be some lag there. They're trying right now. They're doing the most. They're doing the best they can because they know that they're losing, and they're trying to take people that are covering the war, taking us out, and it ain't gonna work. Right? So let's continue. Where were we at? They're still orcs are still subhuman. Any Russians fighting in Ukraine or for Russia, my message doesn't change. Let's continue. So back to where we were at. Let me pull up that full video because we're not going anywhere. Everyone came on back. Let me I'll share a blast to the Telegram, which y'all should definitely join our Telegram channel if you haven't. I gotta pull the video back on screen. We're good to go. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to stress over. Can't take me out. We're back. Yeah, we're back. Letting people come on back here. We went down to like 200 some viewers. We're getting back up to 500. Gotta let our Facebook audience come on over here because Facebook got cut off. I saw it right away. I was looking and like my whole stream was frozen on Streamlabs. I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's not good. Let me telegram it out quick. Stream is back up on YouTube. So I'm sending out a Telegram message right now. Just sent it. Join our channel if you have not done so. Check into the stream, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We only have one more video to go anyways, so we're at the end of the line anyways. End of the stream. Shout out to everybody that stuck with it. So anyways, this is from Kharkiv. Scouts from the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense Battalion under Russian fire. It's a video posted on the 1st of August, but I haven't seen it, so let's watch it and react to some of the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense Force.
Ми поїдемо туди, куди періодично заходить русня. Ну, таке місце. Не дуже безпечне, але.
То скільки кілометрів від Харкова?
Не можу сказати, я медик.
Also, Spark One Up safety meeting. It's an extended documentary style report, so it's like a full-on video. Spark One Up 420 friendly stream. Let's go.
Все розкажу. Мені самому цікаво.
Один, два, три, регбі.
З'єднуй команди.
Команда.
Зараз єднуй.
Ветерани, бо
Чеші були в Русі.
вже такий вік, що вже граємо за одну ветеранську команду Києва, збірна Києва.
А в Чечні грали в різних командах, які вальчили одна проти одної. Добре вальчили. В рugby грав у польській, грав у Прощу Гданському. Наші кадри завжди грають в єдній групі. Так, 10 років. 10 років. Я грав і в Росії, і в Польській, і в Іспанії.
Listen, we got the orc hunters in the chat. And we have guests from the Leaf Spring Army in here. It's not going to go well for Russian trolls in this chat tonight.
Франції. Wiesz, я мав 50 лет, так? 60 лет я грав в рugby, а то такий спорт є такий дуже балковий, да? Дуже такий хлопацький спорт. Але коли я це бачу, в мене сльози на очах. Wiesz? Коли я чую, що мої знайомі якісь там загинули чи щось, то я маю сльози. Ти розумієш, ми були в тому, що в Ірпені, були в Бучі, коли вони там були, так? Орки, руські.
Оркас.
І ми бачили, віддяли wszystko, що там було, що вони там наробили. Я трохи шворю, бо потіє ток. Отак старається. Зараз поїдемо до Питомника. Тут таке місто, ну, містечко, де вони там не дуже, не дуже далеко були. І там вони стояли, русські стояли там у тому Питомнику.
A ma pan jakichś przyjaciół, znajomych w Rosji?
В Росії? Та я сам з Росії. Я мав 4 роки, 4 літа, коли я приїхав сюди, до України. Я там маю багато моїх родичів, тьоті, там, браття. Мам.
Macie kontakt?
І дзвонив я їм, питав, що діється. Але не всі розуміли, що то є дійсно правда. Вони казали...
So again, if you're just joining us back, we're watching the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense posted their combat footage and what it was like around that region in the war. This was posted on the 1st, and I didn't get around to see it. This was posted on August 1st, so we're checking it out.
Так, то у вас там Бандера, Крим наш. Приїхали до першої точки. То що, десь тільки що було? Бо вони тут і близько. Можете виходити.
Also, let's welcome back JNA to the channel. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Interesting. So that's a PKM. Getting it loaded.
Парни, вы вообще лихие. Вы откуда? Ну только час назад все, блядь, подпалили. Приветствую, витаю. Годину назад, десь хоч і старий. Розчет у нас не стояв мінометний, хлопці там бика вживали, що бажання можливо.
Oh, wow, with a $100 bomb, €100 bomb from Paolo Corradini. Screw the orcs and their sympathizers. Oh my goodness. Got him.
Dzień dobry.
Ось, будь ласка, хлопці знають, що
Ja
було.
jestem z Warszawy. Robert.
Харків, Діма. Півтори години.
Артем.
Півтори години тому десь 15 приходів. Вот наша позиция, вот тоже наша позиция была. Взрывается БК, летят мины. Вы очень лихие парни, раз здесь оказались. Потому что здесь опасно. Вот доказательство того, что здесь были русские штанишки. Заберем, отдадим
That
разведке.
stupid hat, dude.
A to co to jest to?
Это на шапку, да. Full helmet, yeah. О, бачите? Патроны, да. Вы осторожно, там гранатометные снаряды остались. Очень. Time, guys, time.
Cześć. Sława Ukrainie.
Героям слава.
Це були ракетні обстріли, ви ж чули, що півтори години. Цей хвостовик я заберу назад. Бо нас дуже просили привезти саме такий хвостовик від смерча. Це навіть не град, це набагато більший калібр. Ось така от біда.
Wow.
Ja nie rozumiem tego. A ty rozumiesz?
Я ні. Я вже 93-й день не розумію нічого. Хлопці, виїжджаємо, готуйтесь.
That house was on fire. They had missed it by an hour. They had showed up. An hour.
co znaczy ten napis na tablicy rejestracyjnej? Szwedy.
Szwedy?
Da.
To my jest Szwedy. No, u nas jest jeden, kto ma Szwedy. Szwed.
Jeden Szwed.
Da. No, on nie jest Szwed, on ma nazwisko Szwed.
Звойовані кацапські позиції. Ходіть, будь ласка,
So you gotta realize, like, videos like this can't come out immediately anymore. So, like, from Ukraine side, because this is a lot of details. So this is old. This has happened in, I think he said day 93. So that would have had to have been around when the Russians got their ass kicked and finally gave it up and went and focused on the east, because they had tried to blitzkrieg Kyiv and take the capital, failed. So this was when the Ukrainians were clearing out the rest of the Russians in the northern region of Ukraine around Kyiv. This is the 13th Kyiv Territorial Defense Force. It's operational security, so this is the right time for this type of video to come out for Ukraine as they're on defense.
Заходьте, дивіться, як ці собаки тут жили. Інакше ж не скажеш, тут хіба позиція. Спали, жерли. Ось вам наслідки.
You got the Russian MRE there. Does that one say 2015 on it? No, the 2015 ones had some red on it, if I remember. They had the red star. Wow, and they just leave their dude. The more I like hate the Russian military, dude. The Russian military in Kyiv, like, just leave their fucking trash, dude. Like, that's unacceptable for us. Number one, in the West, like, that's gives away where you're at. You can't leave anything around because the enemy, like, Ukraine is Russia's enemy right now. You know what I mean? So you're leaving evidence of you were there for your enemy to know where the hell you're at. They literally don't even know what they're doing, dude. Like, they have no basic soldiering, no knowledge of anything. Nothing. They have rockets and nukes, and that's it. They're just an empty shell of a country with a military that's dog water. But they have nukes and missiles, so you can't, like, not take them seriously either. It's such a shit situation.
Це позиції підсаушки, які стояли, працювали на Харкові. Це також капоніри. І це теж наслідки російських загарбників. Можна подивитись, засняти, там такі самі пайки. Ну і далі так само ще 2-3 позиції.
What do you do with the trash? Take it with you.
Вони після себе залишають. Що, просто був будинок раніше, а тепер ось так. Виходить не буде.
In the military, or like in the U.S. Army, you put all your shit back in the MRE bag. You eat it all, and then it comes in a, like that. The Russians have a box for their individual MREs. Ours comes in like a plastic bag that you gotta, like, rip open, and you just throw all your wrappers and all your trash back into it. And then all you gotta deal with is just that. And you can roll it up and put it in your gear if you need to roll out. But more often than not, we have like a job for that, or we have people that do trash runs or whatever. In theater, you put your trash on in a convoy, and then that convoy has to go back to the FOB, and then it's dealt with there. People that have burn pit situations going on now and shit, but you don't leave it out in the field.
Cześć.
І там в них був спостережно-командний пункт. Якщо ви зараз повернетесь і станете так, то у вас там весь Харків на долоні. І саме, я думаю, з цієї точки багато прилетіло. Ну, ось тут була їх дислокація. 100%, тому що ви бачите під ногами наслідки. Ну а це свіжий розрив. Була в когось хата.
Wow. Look at the trash. I gotta hide my camera because you can't see it. Look at, oh, that's all Russian MREs right here. That's all boxes and boxes of trash from their military. Look at it. Disgusting. So when I say subhuman, I mean it with my whole chest.
Ось, будь ласка.
Російська чепка.
Russian cap.
Можливо, вони навіть готувались до чого більш серйозного. Тому що заходили одразу з протигазами.
Може його заберемо?
Якщо треба, заберемо. Можливо, щось знали, до чогось готували. Давайте зараз ви відійдете, я відкрию двері.
Роберт.
Those poor chickens. Good, smart. Smart. Do you see what he just did right there? He didn't open, he put a wire on the door and got a safe distance in case the door was trapped. Because this was a Russian position. IQ plus 100 right there.
Судячи з того, що сюди заходить стільки дротів від тапіків, то я думаю, що це...
So many wires. It was probably a command post.
Думаю, що це і є командний пункт. Дуже багато зв'язку сюди. Дуже. Я думаю, варто не сюди. Ну, напевно, так само, як і там, години-півтори, можливо, дві. Воно ще ж догорає. Хата невелика і ще досі горить.
Може було питно?
Все може бути, ніхто нічого не знає, що в них в голові.
What region is this footage from? Kyiv, from the capital, the Kyiv Oblast. This was after the Russians they'd kicked their ass up in the north and they had all moved to the east. So he said the 93rd day in the video so far. This came out on August 1st, so again, operational security. A lot of this type of stuff is coming out later.
Сюди я не думав, що і тут зараз це буде, але воно сталося.
Just disgusting. That's all of their trash. The Russian military's trash.
Вам же зробили комплімент. Ось, будь ласка. Підвал. У нас плюс, хлопці, в укриття всі під дерева. Чекаємо ще.
Wow.
Зараз, секунду, там може бути все, що завгодно. Я перевіряю.
No moments off. No time off.
Вот, жук, як мене чуєте. Мінімальна зв'язок.
I saw a table down there. Right here, you can see there's a table. There's cups on it. A thermos. This is where they had mess. This is where they ate. The Russians did.
А хто питав, чи можуть вони повторно влупити? Здається, можуть. Хлопці, нижче! Тут? Саме тут.
There are laws and rules of war. Like, there is. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want when you're at war. So contrary to what the East and Russia is making it out to be. That's why they aren't in these organizations. They don't have to obey them.
Суки. Якось побачили нас, падла. Ну, можливо, з пташок. Там 2 машини, і ми тут лазимо. Хлопці, спробуйте подивитись шлях на дорогу.
Who enforces the law of war? The United Nations. All countries that are part of the United Nations are supposed to. In the United States, you'll go to Leavenworth or non-judicial punishment or something.
Пішки. Чи зможете забрати нас з дороги? Плюс.
A lot of the U.S. military all handles it themselves, though.
Oni musieli nas zobaczyć z drona.
Może bути.
And punishments are dished out. Don't take that as like nothing happens, because I have plenty of friends that lost rank for plugging in their phone to charge into a government computer, not thinking anything of it. But Uncle Sam will take you and screw you over. So I've seen it.
Ty mi imponujesz, ty jesteś spokojny, jakbyś grał w szachy.
Я медик.
Як ми звідси виходимо? Спробуємо так само, як прийшли. Але трошки швидше.
А я в разі чого, якщо знову обстріл, куди лягати?
Падаємо. Шукаємо місце. Шукаємо місце, куди падаємо. Ямка, ще щось, дерево. Готові?
Так. Біжимо?
Помалу, пішли. Вебер, йди перший, я замикаю.
Wow. What's you got there on the right? Got a USIR flag.
Bardzo panowie, bardzo.
Швидко, bardzo.
No, a lot of Ukrainians are wearing the American flag on their gear. Because of the idea of America. We had to fight for our independence too, before TV and internet and radio existed, or any type of media, but America had to fight for our independence.
Виїжджаєш першою машиною, в дорозі обженив.
Давай.
Gdzie on pobiegł?
А, до самого. Їдемо. Ну як, то добре? Wszystko w porządku. Зараз nie є tak. Fajno.
A to gdzie jesteśmy teraz?
То ми зараз на Цвіркуни. Макс, говорит поляк, ты не нервничал совсем. Все нормально, говорит. Не було часу, да?
A jak ty myślisz, jak to po dźwięku, to jak sądzisz, jak to daleko od nas uderzyło?
Я медик. Не можу сказати. Кепа, запитайте.
Ну воно недалеко було, там десь, може, до 100 метрів, я думаю, да?
Думаю, так.
Десь до 100 метрів. Не więcej. Едет за теми, кто стрелял.
Gdzie oni jadą?
100-110 одразу в наш лісок, там де башти. Але ми дивимося, якщо що, я кажу відміна. Ви розвертаєтесь і
Ну мы сделаем где-то метров 150-200
Да,
дистанции.
Да.
Вы первые заедете, и мы за вами.
Ну що, хлопці, поїхали. Нормально, хлопці. Лісок, диви.
Циркуны мы въезжаем.
To Scroony.
А то будет зад с циркунами сразу же. Тишки. Черкасские, по-моему, сначала. А в русских они стояли, когда мы ездили.
420 friendly stream.
Скільки кілометрів?
Comment what strain y'all are smoking on. It's almost 12:30.
Того місця, де ми будемо, вони стоять?
Сейчас я даже не знаю. Ну так, десь 2-3 кілометри, мабуть, і є. Не вінці. Зараз їх чуть відпущу.
Тут скрізь, бачите, укріплені позиції. Вони нас дуже чекали. Вздовж дороги скрізь позиції. Дуже укріплений район був. Подивіться, скільки тут відпрацювало арти. Пішли, в нас там є локація трошки далі. Зафільмуєте і назад.
Wow. Incredible footage here.
Не треба ящики зараз. За цими ящиками ховатись безпечно, за цими ні. Білий це далеко, не будемо так далеко. Я хотів вам показати ось це. І таких ящиків тут повно. Це те, що не долетіло до Харкова, і слава Богу.
Plenty of such boxes for, you know, an assault on Kharkiv from the Kyiv direction.
Іншим позиціям.
Co to jest?
That would have been.
Це град.
So that would have been attacks at Kharkiv from the west if the Russians were able to get a foothold there. They never did, but.
Тут стояло багато граду, багато було батарей, Ви бачите, скільки тут відпрацьованих ящиків і скільки накрило, так.
They just left it.
Підтвердження того, що це не наші позиції, а кацапські.
The Pru's positions weren't ours, they were Ruski's, Crimean sets.
Це вам кримські набори.
Wow.
Дружба народів. Такі наші друзі.
Friendship of nations, such are our friends.
Пішли ще декілька кроків вперед і будемо повертатися. Добре. Якщо не свистить, це безпечно. Ось, будь ласка, подарунок ще залишився. Тобто тут був і розрахунки СЗРО, і мінометні.
Duds all over the place. So you can see their garbage from this far away. Those are 2 more MREs right there to the left of my camera. And you can see them in the back there too. Those are all MREs and the... Just pigs, dude. Pig orcs. What's that pig orc from Lord of the Rings? Before they... that's what I imagine. The one that's like all... that has no hair.
Треба вже потихеньку повертатися. Там ще локація кацапів була, ну...
Disgusting, dude. Disgusting. That wouldn't be allowed. I mean, that's just, you know, like, there's no other way to put this. This is not allowed in the U.S. military. Marine Corps, fuck no. Army, like, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Like, the drill sergeant would like make your day the worst day ever if you had any trash around. I told the story the other night. If we had trash in our vehicles the next day, and the sergeant in charge of the convoy, so the convoy commander, it was usually the assistant convoy commander's job, was to go through all of the trucks before we went out on mission to make sure they didn't have trash. And if they did, it was a bad day. No trash, clean. Who wants to sit in trash while you have to do military operations? Not me. Who wants to sit in Who wants to sit in fucking, like, no. You're laying your life on the line in a disgusting environment? You can't control some of the places you're in, but you can control what's around you. So, like, your truck and, like, your equipment's got to be clean. Your weapons got to be clean. Your uniform has to be clean. You have to be clean. This is just ridiculous. It's disgusting.
Тут можна так вглиб піти ще ого. Все, добре, повертаємось. Білий, повертаємось. Антоніо.
It's just trash everywhere. But I'm not like that. I'm not saying, so like, I'm not like that now. I should clarify. Like my shit, I got laundry piles here. Like, it's like, I'm just talking like, I can turn that off when I'm doing, like, if I'm in the field. Or like when I was in the military, I'm not leaving trash in my space because number one, I'm going to get yelled at. 2, and that is life and death, because then like pretend that this was the other foot and this was like the Russians finding a Ukrainian, like the Ukrainians clean up. They are very well with that. Their fighting positions are immaculate. They got nice setups and their trenches are like set up. Imagine if this was in the other foot. Then the Ukrainians are leaving back trash for the Russians to try to find them and figure out, okay, it's like a breadcrumb trail to figure out where you're at. Yeah, they have higher capabilities now with like UAVs and they can find people a lot easier, but I guess I was trained before UAV times, but this type of stuff gives away where you're at and lets people know, hey, y'all were here. So we might be close to their position. It's just not allowed. I'm baked as hell right now, and I could tell y'all that, and I haven't been in the military in, like, what year did I get out? 2016 out of active duty. I was in the reserves for a couple years, but 1 week in a month. Like, that's just ingrained into me. It's ridiculous. This doesn't happen. This is not allowed in the U.S. military.
Ось подивіться, якщо побачите, вон стирчить накінечник ракети.
Де?
Он, алюмінієвий, білий.
Да, я вижу.
Він прилетів, звісно, з того боку. Це вже коли наші хлопці зайшли сюди, обстрілювали. Це смерч. Це він відпрацював на висоті і залишки падають отак. Але він прилетів з того боку.
Шапка ушанка.
Черговий скальп.
Skarb dla kolegi. Wiem, że kolega zbiera jeden.
Збирає.
Ty zbierasz?
No, лок.
Ile ma?
Слухай.
They're calling those furry, those stupid Russian hats, scalps.
Все добре. Пішли. Straight ahead. I look to the our back. Okay. Повертаємось.
Da.
Це далеко, але криють.
Там дивись, там точно, там взагалі окопи жорсткі. Там походу чи штаб був, чи що. Вон там, далі ліс.
Куди не підемо, часу немає. Ну, час є, але... Тут було дуже укріплено, і так зрозуміло. Це теж відпрацьовано від градів.
Burn down spots.
Випалені місця. Пішли, хлопці.
Trash everywhere. Oh, they're piss bottles all over the... Oh, dude. They're dip spit bottles. Probably piss bottles if they're in their trenches. Can't get up to go pee. Gotta pee in your trench, but I gotta do that in a bottle. Grave of the unknown Russian soldiers. Wow.
A gdzie jest twoja rodzina?
Київ? Місто Київ.
Ні, сім'я десь.
А, родина моя?
Так.
Моя родина зараз у Варшаві.
W Warszawie.
Так.
Ja pojadę i pokażę im.
Добре.
Jak trzeba, to pomogę.
Дякую. Дякую
Ми
Польщі,
всі
дякую вам всім.
bardzo дякуємо польській за те, що ви зробили для нас.
Ми дуже хвилювалися за родину, коли почалась війна і коли ви надали такий притулок. Це було дуже круто.
Дякую.
Nie ma za co. Jesteśmy sąsiadami.
Ми добрі сусіди. Добрі. Bardzo добрі.
A twoja rodzina gdzie?
Германія.
Германия.
Німці.
А в Лока у Франції.
Ja wiem.
Я już mówię.
Братислава.
Bratysława. A dzwonicie do rodziny?
Так.
Ще новий.
Co oni mówią?
Сумують. Хвилюються дуже.
Чекають. А є, очки.
They're getting emotional, yeah. This is what I say, they're getting emotional.
Все. Зараз є ж, хто працював там десь на фірмі, хто працював там поштарем, хто ким був, але взяли ту зброю в руки і ми стали такою дуже нацією, яку ніхто нігде не покорить.
Руса армії то не є друга армія.
It's facts.
Вони не за те воюють. Розумієш, ми воюємо за свою землю, за свої родини. А вони не віч, що вони сюди прийшли. А ми вємо, за це ми воюємо. Поїхали.
Добре, хлопці, поїхали. Хлоп, сідаємо, готуєтесь. Ви першою машиною.
I would watch volumes worth of content like this from reports about the war like this. I would and just to see like things that you don't really get to see. Because this isn't a mainstream news broadcast. This was a little team in Ukraine and some whoever decided to film it.
Так. Там така школа. І вони там, ну там так брудно, так.
Dlaczego?
Ну, так вони мешкали.
I appreciate that, Thomas. Thank you so much.
Там їх кроваті стоять. Герб такий Зв'язку Радянського. І 30.
Wow. Look at the trench. Right by
Ми
us.
вам покажемо. Як каже Білий, подивись, на що вони моляться.
Who they pray to? You can see the wires. This was a command post of some sort.
Світіть. Ось, будь ласка. У них совок в головах ще 30 років. Ми тут в безпеці.
There it is. Their minds are on Homo Sovieticus from 30 years ago. Trying to pause that. Wow.
Ще 30 років. Ми тут в безпеці. Ось така у них. Тут собі жили. І ось такий ще в них. Вождь.
They lived with their... Oh my God.
Вождь хренов. Ось так. У них в головах совок і пролетарій.
Is that Lenin?
Дебіли.
Imbeciles.
Ось, будь ласка. Десь же знайшли і поставили. Це для
They
них
want to make the Soviet Union great again.
важливо, вони ж побідоносні. Ось спальник.
Oh, yuck.
Йоханий бабай, подивіться, у них навіть мочалка георгіївська. Йолки.
Ukrainians are so funny. And
Йоханий бабай. Подивіться, у них навіть мочалка георгіївська. Йолки-моталки. Це вже дебілізм повний. Колорадські жуки. Антоніо, подивись, навіть мочалка колорадська. Ну це просто вже капець. Так що отакі чистюлі. Мочалка наче є, а там де живуть навіть не хотіли прибирати.
there's a washcloth, but they couldn't clean. Just scattered everything. There's that American flag on that IR flag, which in the U.S. Army, and I'm not sure about the other branches, they wore like, some of the other branches wore a different type of American flag when they were overseas, but when you're deployed in the U.S. Army, when you're at home, you wear the colored American flag on your uniform. And I tried to find it and I couldn't. I'll look through my stuff so I can show y'all. I definitely have my IR flag still. which is on my gear somewhere, which I've worn in the protests. I actually wore my IR flag on my press gear. But you wear an infrared flag. It's like the flag is black and white and kind of shiny, but from the sky and from a distance that it stands out, and you can see it through infrared when you have to wear night vision. Listen, the United States is ahead on every level, dude. Even the flags we wear, so we can identify each other. Russia's would just not even think of that. Look at that.
Навіть бачиш, шторку зробили для інтимів собі.
І ямку викопали.
Wow. Look at this, yo. Look at these. Look at that. What is that? What garbage is that? Are they eating dog food? There's a cow on there. Canned lard or something? That's condensed milk. Ugh. Yuck.
Антоніо, вилазь.
Y'all.
Не відкривай такі двері. Що, знайшов?
Ну, десь є щось там, десь щось воняє. Але що саме? Ну, дохлятина.
Something stinks in there. I'm sure it does. Someone in the chat said earlier, I bet it reeks around Russian fighting positions. Yuck, I bet it smells disgusting down there. Something stinks in there, yeah. Rotten garbage.
Щось воняє. Але що саме? Ну, дохлятина. Дохлятина смердить.
Тут вже розміновано було чи ще нічого?
Ні, ну пройшли, напевно, сапери щось.
Але
може вони поверхностно пройшли і далі пішли, може не було часу. Ми були десь приблизно тиждень тому, ну можливо більше, менше, я вже не рахую ці дні. Так оці дахи були ще цілі. Да? Ну що, тепер додому?
A powiedz, jak myślisz, czy Ukraińcy się będą mogli jeszcze kiedyś pogodzić z Rosjanami?
Ja mam puchar Rosji, mam medалі Rosji. І мам bardzo, велику кількість там друзів. З ким я весь час там переписувався, все.
Ale oni mogą być w
Але
armii
жоден
rosyjskiej.
мені не подзвонив.
Żaden.
Жоден не подзвонив. Мені дзвонили з Грузії, там хлопці, там з Швеції, з Литви, Латвії, Франція.
Z Polski?
З Польщі теж. Але жодного з Росії ніхто не подзвонив. Розумієш? То має пройти багато часу.
130th Kyiv Territorial Defense Battalion. Oh my goodness.
Ну, десь є щось там, десь щось воняє. Але що саме? Ну, дохлятина.
Private Dmitry Gennadovich Whitey Balak, a parachutist, takes part in international competitions, marathoner, sales manager at an employment agency. Ensign Max Weber, vet, surgeon, orthopedist, patented a few surgical tools. Wow. Joined the army on the first day of the war.
Я медик.
Private First Class Dmitro Bug Radish. He's a rugby player. Champion of Ukraine. Clubs. RC Aviator, RC Rhinos, and he's a driving instructor. What a video.
Ми коли їхали сюди, я не думав.
Junior Sergeant Victor Cap Baranov, rugby player. Clubs, RC Aviator, RC Rhinos. He's been in the Territorial Defense since 2014.
Думав, що і тут зараз це буде, але воно сталося.
Бандера.
Private Alexander Locke Corwin, rugby player. Wow, like this whole unit, this whole little team here came from the rugby team. Rugby player, many-time champion of Ukraine, champion of Poland, rugby union for 10 years, 6'4" manager at an energy company.
Наш. Приїхали до першої точки.
Wow, what a video that was. There's nothing more like that. Big credit to OKO Press for this one. Oh my goodness. Wow. For real, thanks for not adding unneeded commentary to this so we could just watch it. For real. I'm going to share this video to the Discord so y'all can watch that again. There's nothing like, you can't find anything else like that? Oh, wow. What a video. John is back in Ukraine. We went through that a little earlier. I'm going to share that. So that's the Kharkiv Scouts from the 13th Territorial Defense. Let me share that to the Discord. Terra Ops on YouTube as well did one. Let's look at that real quick. Hold on. I got to share this to the, so I don't forget. Okay. Terra Ops did one. Oh, are you just saying this is a good channel to watch stuff like that from a month ago? Yeah, we've seen this one, the Terra Unit, the Destruction. Is this a newer one? Some of these are compilations too, though. Alright, we can end on this one. That was a nice long, that had some emotion to it as well. But here's a last video of the stream from the Terra Ops YouTube channel. I'm subscribed already. From the Terra Unit, Ukrainian tanks are sending Russians to hell. This is how we'll end the stream, and then y'all can join me on Snack Squad TV after this. If you want more from me tonight, I'll be live for a couple more hours. I'm going to stream some Warzone. Too late to play any of my other games, so I'm going to stream some Call of Duty Warzone on Snack Squad TV. Late night Warzone and chill. We can have some conversations. The channel again, I'm going to pull it up so you know where we're at after this video. Snack Squad TV right here. Stream's already scheduled. Late night stream. I usually stream Spider-Man or Tomb Raider, but it's already too late. War coverage was just extended tonight. It is what it is. So feel free to join us after here. I'm going to be playing some Call of Duty. Hang out on Snack Squad TV. Last video of the stream from the Terra Unit.
О, ветер поднялся. На. Есть вероятность п***ать дрона. Чикс. Пішли, малючок, політаємо.
Дивимось ціль БМД під укриттям. Ціль номер 1.
Ціль номер 7 ще мені сказали.
От ти знаєш, зараз прозвучало.
Ціль номер 1.
That's a Russian position. Under the bridge. Or actually, that's not even a bridge. That's just under a top of their trench. Looks like a BMP.
Ціль спостерігає вогонь.
Це хто у нас працює?
Есть?
Ой, далеко, очень далеко. Пострел. Хорошо, берем.
Well, there. Well, now it looks like it's destroyed.
Хорошо, слушай, горело.
Так мне прям нравится воевать. Сидишь в льготной позе и смотришь. Вот это неплохо, кстати.
Плюнув мені на руку.
Сдул.
И на том спасибо.
То командирская слюна. От нее все лучше работает.
Appreciate that, Dome. We'll be over there.
Пострел. Спостерігайте.
Ой, хорошо.
Хорош.
Это вот туда, куда я говорил.
Чувствую хорошее попадение. Не.
Wow.
Координаты. Спроси у него, чи буде останній постріл.
Ні, не буде.
Все, буде перекат, да? Пошел. Как-то так.
Ролевая игра. Только все как будто бы по настоящему.
There's the positions.
Что-то дымит?
Непонятно.
Уф.
Ну, что-то дымит, но непонятно.
Что видишь? Сейчас смотрим, что сейчас будет.
Просто наваливает по тем же.
Да. Причем, кажется, двумя. О, хорош.
Левее, точнее. Тут прям очень хорошо.
Вот.
Опять в окопчик. Красавчики такие. Как приятно торговать. Это прям вход в окоп.
Да.
Просто. Джек уже 4 попадания в один и тот же круг.
С легким, ну видишь. Вот это разрывчик. И вот это. Да?
Да.
На позициях пехоты рветься БК.
Ты видишь, дым то затухает, то опять поднимается. Зеленка более равномерно горела.
Слушай, ну столько танковых попаданий. Танк?
Да, танк страшный.
Не знаю, может у него снаряд какой-то другой. Типа.
So yeah, it's scary there.
Окоп! Давай, выползай оттуда.
Роботу вже кінчили, я твою поки ні.
Ну, чуть-чуть, давай к таксисту лезь.
Пішов на відкат, все.
Доповідаю. Танк роботу закінчив, відпрацював просто на 5 із 5. На этой?
This is a good video too. Shout out to whoever suggested the Terra unit. I completely forgot. They have put out good videos before.
Щось десь глюкнуло. Шлем одень.
Он у него там.
He had a UK flag on his shoulder.
Выстрел.
Ooh, that was...
Сейчас можешь забрать быстро. Выход!
Ooh, left his weapon up there or what?
Теперь ты не против, да, Пить? Выход.
Тише. Близко. Навіть дуже.
This Terra unit's in the exact same position. They haven't moved in a while. Because this was the same spot as the video from like a month ago that we watched.
Ух ты ж, любишь давать, бей, получать. Давай после выстрела 2 в 1. Кто таков 2 в это? Нельзя в одном сидеть.
В одном сидеть.
Тот надежнее, чем.
Выход.
Здравствуйте. Сейчас будет приход, я тебе шлем заберу. Далеко.
Кроме того, на вас загрится вражеская арта.
Да, мы момент
So two things. One, he left his Kevlar up in the chill spot, and the other guy left his weapon up there. That's two no-goes. Can't have that. I'm glad they were able to go back and get it for him. I was able to brave cameraman, but never leave your Kevlar and your weapon. That's it. That's the message. Never leave it. Keep it on you.
Та нічого, сидимо. Ще трохи посидимо і тоді що там.
Oh yeah, the best sleep. Right on my Kevlar, on that hard ass. Oh yeah.
Выглядит эта арка над тобой, конечно, мощно. Складывается?
The best sleep I would get when you be out on mission is you get to sit down, you put your Kevlar behind your back. I mean, so it's still right on you. You lay on it, and you're on your IOTV, and you use it, or you use something to prop yourself up, and you hold your. All you gotta do is put your hands on your you put your hands on your IOTV or whatever you have, or like whatever, and you just sit there, and you can like lean back, and you just sleep sitting up like this, holding your gear, because like it keeps you warm too, wearing all the plating and that. It's like it's like a heavy jacket.
Нормально. Пустить, хлопцы, пустить. Ой, хороший сон.
Прям полыхает. Ну, слухай, може і не стрілковка, може там і для 30-ки, знаєш.
Ну, БМД ж стоит, значит, и БК под ней есть.
Сильно большая яма, знаешь. Склад БК размером с БМД.
Ну, они же на позиции выводят, она огневые еще.
А, тут, которая
Да. Это угол обороны в планах, там должно быть много. Проїхали танки, стали стріляти, стали попадати. І ото воно горить. Ходять?
не мертвая.
Oh wow.
Да, это разведочку хорошую.
Что-то их давало трошки. А, это им давало прям...
That's clear as day. There's the Russians. There's their positions absolutely destroyed.
В хату зашло.
And oh wow.
Это песня.
Там песня?
Песня, да.
Знищення.
Знищення, они стоят вокруг такие...
As they stand around in shock. Facts.
Как вы думаете, мы их выгнали?
Я думаю, как минимум, они пересмотрят свои принципы жизни.
Да.
Даже ты слишком недостаточно тяжелый, чтобы не подпрыгивать. Поджопники решают. Веселые горки от Тора.
Fun slides. Alright, y'all. Hey, thank you again so much for tuning in, everybody, on the live stream. We're going to end it on that note. Credit to Terra Unit for that. Terra Ops. I'll share that video to the Discord server. If you want to hang out in the YouTube stream, well, we're only live on YouTube. Facebook died like an hour or two ago because I was DDoS temporarily. So shout out to all the orc hunters in the chat that stuck through it and stuck through the DDoS, and I reset and came back live. Thanks to all of the Leaf Spring Army for joining us that were checking in throughout the night, and all the Enforcer watchers. You guys are amazing, and we're great on the channel tonight as guests on Mercado Media. If you're interested in more from me, I'm live an hour before Enforcer goes live at 9. So I start my stream at 8, and then we go like as long as it takes. So if you're interested in catching my stream first, again, 8 p.m. every night. 8 p.m. Central Time. Shout out to the Orc Hunters. Again, well, thanks again, LSA, for stopping by Monday night. Snack Squad will be live on Snack Squad TV. Just hang out in the live chat, and I will beam you right to the next live stream. See you guys then. Have a good night. See you on Snack Squad TV. If not, Orc Hunters, I'll see you tomorrow night. Also, a lot of people don't know I'm live from 12 Central until 5 Central during the daytime. Daytime news coverage if you're interested in hearing me going through all of the latest news going on, including stuff that is going on in Ukraine during the daytime. If you can't catch all of the stream during that night or whatever, if you're bored tomorrow, come check me out. Noon to 5 back here on Mercado Media. See y'all on Snack Squad TV. Have a good night. See you on the next one.